It's a day game, and it's the Orioles on Massa from Yankee Stadium. This is the fourth of the four. The Yankees have won the first three as the Oriole bats have gone quietly. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. The flu running through the clubhouse has created lots of lineup problems for the Orioles. So today, trying to avoid the four-game sweep against the Yankees, the manager will be back. Buck Showalter was not here last night. He's not feeling very well, but he's going to be back on the bench. Adam Jones is not going to be in the lineup. He's got a back problem. Rickert got hurt. Joey Rickert chasing a ball down against the fence in the ball game, hurt his hand. He is not in the lineup today. Matt Wieters continues to be day-to-day. Foul ball off the foot. The Orioles will get back Manny Machado and Chris Davis, both of whom had the flu. They are feeling better, but certainly not 100%. The Orioles need all they can get bat-wise. Take a look at what's gone on in this series. This has not been an offensive series for either team, but especially not for the Orioles. Yankees have won the first three. The runs per game, can you believe that? 0.7 runs per game in the last three for the Orioles. Batting average at 152. The slugging percentage is really Zippo. The Orioles have been out-homered 5-1 in the series. The starter ERA for the Yankees, as good as it's been anytime through the rotation at 1.04. The bullpen for the Yankees continues to give up nothing. The Orioles bullpen 7.5. So, Jim, about everything that could go wrong for the Orioles in a series has happened in this one.
Well, it really has. And I mean, it started on Sunday. We talked about it after the break. The Orioles won the first two. They don't score a lot of runs, but, they score 4 and 2 runs, but they make it work down in Tampa Bay. They lose on Sunday. The Yankees, of course, lose their first two games, and then they beat David Price, so the Red Sox don't sweep them. And since then, the Orioles have lost now, 4 in a row. The Yankees are getting back into the race via the Orioles, and that's what you want to do. We talk about this. I said it yesterday. It's kind of myopic. You figure, well, okay, Yankees aren't playing that well. There's been all kinds of talk. They're going to sell, whatever. But it was a great opportunity if the Yankees played well, which they have, and they pitched really well against a team that was in first place. Now it's 8.5 has gone down to 5.5. So it's an opportunity to them. So what do the Orioles have to do? Try to win today.
Win some baseball. The Orioles find themselves in second place after a month and a half where they were alone or shared first place in the American League East. They are now a half a game out. So for the Orioles, you get into these kind of slumps, Jim, and it kind of spreads like the flu did through the clubhouse. They need to get just a couple of plunk hits, get an inning where they get a couple of runs.
Yeah, and they have an opportunity, Gary. The game the Gosman pitched was 2-1. I mean, it was a home run to A-Rod and a sacrifice fly. The Orioles had Alvarez up, who has been hot, but the Yankees did a nice job. So he popped up with the bases loaded. You had the base running mistake. The second game was, again, pretty close. Eovaldi had been pitching well. He pitches well. But I think the end of the day, and we were talking about it on the bus out to the ballpark today, Gary, is they pitch real well. We know how good the back end of the bullpen. I don't think we knew how good Swarzak was going to be, or the fact that Goody's come in and pitched well. So they're on a scheme of 28 2/3 scoreless innings. They better get the lead early, and who better to do that than Chris Tillman, even though here maybe not as good as he's everywhere else in the major leagues.
Tillman having a fantastic season. The Orioles are 17-3 in the 20 starts he has made this season. CC Sabathia had a run a month ago where he looked like the old CC Sabathia, but of late, Jim, not particularly good.
No, but against the Orioles, 12 innings and hadn't given up a run yet. So, to me, it's a great pitching duel. It's a day game after a night game. I would imagine the Yankees, feel probably a little bit better because I don't think they ever thought they were going to win 3 in a row. But Tillman, I had a chance to do an interview with him yesterday, Gary, and he talks about the fact that what he does is just give his team a chance to win and not be too high or too low. And that's one of those games today. Just need to go out there and kind of beat Chris Tillman and got a pretty good chance to win.
So the Orioles will look for the stopper, their ace on the mound in this day game before they head home. It'll be a warm one here at Yankee Stadium. First pitch coming up. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Sunny day here in New York. Going to be a warm one this afternoon. Take a look at our BGE home. Game time temperature to start is at 89 degrees. Just a few clouds up there. BGE home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Take a look at the Orioles lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. REIMOLD, SCHOOP, and Machado. Trumbo, Davis, Hardy, Flaherty, Joseph, and Julio Borbon will get a start. REIMOLD at the top because of those numbers.
So, take a look at CC Sabathia, and happy birthday to you. 36th birthday today. So he will pitch. Again, the number's not good on his birthday. 0-2 with a 7.48 ERA. You can see righties and lefties. And Gary, you were right. I mean, this is his 17th start. First 11 were very good.
And Nolan REIMOLD takes a strike, and we're underway.
And then it changed. I mean, never more than 3 runs in the first 11, and 5, 6, 5, 5, and then he gave up another 5 in his last game against the Red Sox.
5-7 on the year. He was 6-10 last year. 0-1 delivery. REIMOLD will take it. REIMOLD with that big 371 lifetime average against CC Sabathia and a couple of home runs. We welcome Buck Showalter back. Certainly not 100%. Still struggling with the aftermath of that flu bug that kept him away from the ballpark for the first time because of illness as an Orioles manager. He'd missed one for graduation, one of his kids, and then a couple of suspension serves. But that's the first time Buck did not get to the ballpark because he didn't feel well. Manny Machado, of course, was away with the flu bug. He's back and in the lineup. 2-1 delivery on the way to REIMOLD. That'll go to short on the big hop. Gregorius is there. So's Teixeira.
Let's take a look at the Yankee defense on this afternoon game in the Bronx. Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran. Beltran is kind of in and out as either a DH or a right fielder. Torreyes at third. Gregorius, Castro, Teixeira back for the second straight game. Homered last night. And then Brian McCann behind the plate again.
We'll bring up Jonathan Schoop, the 1 for 12, a home run in this series. Schoop to be followed by Manny Machado back in his number 3 hole. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Sabathia trying to snap the 5-game skid we're talking about is 0-3-5. ERA is almost 8 in the last 5 games, and opponents have hit .320 against him over that 5-game period. So he's really been off after, as Jim said, a really spectacular series of games. Prior to that, in June, he had a 7-outing .71 ERA span. I mean, he was spectacular. So which Sabathia to get today?
Yeah, knee problems last year, 6-10. The year before, 3-4. Wears the brace on the right knee. Most people think that's really kind of stabilized the landing foot, and then then you don't have to worry about what it's going to feel like. So 36 today. I mean, he doesn't throw 95 to almost 100 like he used to, but he does have a little cutter, has a good changeup, and when he's on, he'll pitch to both sides of the plate with effectiveness. Like that.
And that pitch taken for a strike. And Jonathan Schoop, who is 2 for 10 lifetime against Sabathia, has the count at 2-2.
Yeah, he'll add and subtract, in and out, up and down. If you're a right-handed hitter, he'll try to bury that slider at your back foot, which will be the right foot of Jonathan Schoop.
2-2 delivery on the way, and Schoop will reach. Ground ball. This is going to be a tough play, and it's not going to be made. Gregorius would have had a chance, but was going to have to hustle that, so Schoop reaches with 1 away.
Yeah, we get to see him now for the 4th straight game. Talking about Gregorius, he takes really good angles to the ball because he needs to get there in a hurry, and by doing that, can't really play the hops. You can see the short hop right there, comes off the heel of the glove. I would imagine that would be a base hit.
It is. So Schoop gets a base hit. And that'll bring Manny Machado back. Orioles happy to see that Manny's back in the lineup for both he and Davis. A question of how much was lost battling that flu. No question, it really beat the heck out of the guys who had it, especially the skipper. And the pitch is taken for a strike. For Manny, has gone 1 for 7 in the series. 294 with a homer lifetime against CC Sabathia. So getting back into the lineup against a pitcher that he has done well against. Scope at first, not particularly big lead. Base stealers are 3 for 3 against Sabathia. Not a lot of chances. Machado reaching and fouls it away.
Yeah, the kind of ballpark, if you get that ball down a little bit, you know, you can homer. If you're a right-handed hitter, you hit the ball with any kind of authority to right field, you know, anywhere from maybe here over before the ball will jump, especially in a day game. A little bit of room when you get to the bullpen towards center. And then, of course, down the left field line, it's only 318.
Sabathia with the 0-2 count. And comes inside, just missed. Manny leaning out, maybe looking for a pitch away. And the count will go to 1-2.
Yeah,
one of Sabathia's problems, according to the Yankee coaches, is that in the last few starts, those 5 games he talked about, he's been right in the middle of the plate.
Yeah. Well, that's what Pineda, and then of course last night he was throwing 97 with a great slider. Evaldi had struggled. He was throwing 99. You know, pitched 5 shutout innings, so he got in trouble in the 6th. Nova pitched well on Monday night, 1-2-1.
And Manny will foul that away.
Yeah,
so the Yankees come in with that 4-game win streak, and as Jim says, in those games they've allowed in 4 games, the Yankees have given up 3 runs.
Yeah, 4 straight games of 1 run or less. You know, Joe Girardi knows what, you know, as a former catcher, how important your pitching staff can be.
For only the 2nd time this year, the Yankees are 2 games above 500, and they are 6 games behind the Red Sox now, who lead the division. The Orioles are a half game behind Boston. Manny is going to get one off the end for a base hit. Probably shattered the bat on that. Beltran up with it. His throw will come in. They let it go through, but over to third base goes Jonathan Scope. So Machado returns with a single.
Yeah, and you talked about it in the opening. I mean, we haven't been able, talking about the Orioles, they haven't been able to get this kind of hit. It's right off the end of the bat. It's change up down and away. Hit it to the opposite field. And this is the plus, hit it soft enough so you can advance the runner. And for some reason, Beltran makes a throw, and Sabathia does not back up. If that ball gets by him, the Orioles would have been on the board. CC's kind of had his hands on his hip going, I didn't know you were going to throw. That's why you kind of go back there, and just in case you do.
So here's the Orioles' chance. Day games, not so good.
No.
Waldo at the top. Edwin Jackson, CC, Nolesko, and Hughes. Here's Mike Trumbo. So Trumbo gets the RBI chance. The DH today. He's had a couple of hits and 10 at-bats in the series. Hitting .273 lifetime against Sabathia with a home run.
Well, it'll make it a lot easier if you get the letter high strike. And Manny, first pitch to him was up around the letters. So Carlson obviously going to be a high ball umpire today.
The 1 delivery on the way. Popped him up in the infield, right at the mound. Who wants it? Second baseman. Castro there and puts it away.
Well, how many times have we seen that? Bases loaded. Trumbo popped up the other night when they brought in Swarzak.
The Orioles now are 2 for 18 in this series with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about getting a guy to third with less than 2 outs, Gary. You know, we've seen it for years. You don't have to get a base hit, but what you have to do, and that's why it was so important that, you know, if he calls that first pitch a ball and it looked high, but he doesn't, then maybe you're a little more selective. But at the end of the day, you still have to try to get a ball you can hit to the outfield, and in this series, the Yankees have done a better job of that.
Chris Davis makes his first appearance in the series, out 3 days with the flu. Chris will take the pitch for a strike. 207 with a homer against Sabathia. RBIs against lefties. Chris is at the very top. Former Oriole Nelson Cruz and Beltran with the Yankees. Shift employed here with 2 down. They can put it fully into effect. 0-1 count. Davis will take that. For the Orioles against lefties this year, a good record. They are 14-11. Third best win percentage against left-handed starters in the American League. They have not put up a very good average against left-handers, hitting only .243 overall against the lefties. Bigger numbers against the right-handers. 1-1 delivery on the way to Davis, looking for the outside corner, doesn't get it.
Yeah, you really do. You know, I know CC Sabathia. I mean, his birthday present is Adam Jones, a .284 lifetime hitter against him with 4 home runs, most of anybody potentially playing for the Orioles. He's not there. And then Rickard, what does he do? He hits lefties better than righties. And he hurts his hand.
The Orioles haven't drawn many breaks in the month of July. 2-1 strike delivery on the way, and Davis will foul it back. Sabathia coming in challenging him in 91, but located it well down and in. So Sabathia 2-2 strike count. Former Cy Young Award winner 2007. 219 career wins and 136 losses. Orioles Schoop at third, Machado at first. 2 strike count on Chris Davis. That'll be fouled off the other way.
Well, you're kind of hoping that Chris, the batting average under 200 for the month of July, and he's not the only Oriole, but that maybe he'll just, Scott Goldbaugh saying, boy, just try to be a little more quiet at the plate. A little less movement. So maybe a couple of days off will allow him, maybe not feeling 100%, maybe it will calm him down a little bit. Because when he's hitting well, he uses left field. And that's, I think, how you have to hit Sabathia if you're left-handed.
2-2 delivery on the way, and Chris will take it outside. So the count's full. Teixeira telling Sabathia he will move behind Manny Machado at first base. Schoop at third. And an RBI chance. And one in the gap with the runner moving Machado at first base. Could be a couple of RBIs. 3-2, 2 down. Sabathia's delivery to him, and he walks it, and they are loaded. So the Orioles, here they go again. These bases loaded chances that have arisen in this series, phenomenal. They left them loaded in the 4th inning in the ball game last night, loaded in the 6th inning the night before, loaded in the 1st inning of game 1.
Yeah, and when Hardy got his hit last night with Adam Jones at second, he got a good jump, and they held him up because they were able to get to the ball very quick. Aaron Hicks playing right field charged it, and that loaded the bases up, and then they couldn't score.
So Hardy, a couple of hits, 10 at bats in the series, puts it up in the air, down the line. Teixeira is going to be closest, but it'll be out of play, just out of his reach, about 3 rows back. Tough day, balls in the air, could be inexperience. The wind not much at all, a little bit out towards left, but the sun, high sky, a lot of glare. Typical day game. It's a beautiful summer day here, but it'll be a little tough when the ball's put up in the air.
Yeah, the pitch count already at 24, and it can get a lot higher if you get a base hit here.
Hardy, a .303 lifetime average against Sabathia with a home run. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Left-hander's delivery to JJ is going to go to short, and it's going to go into left field. Jonathan Schoop will score. Machado will score, and the Orioles get on the board. Hardy hit it hard, and the Orioles have a 2-0 lead to start the ball game.
Yeah, Sabathia really, I don't think it's unlucky because the ball was hit so hard. And again, he doesn't make a great pitch. You talked about balls in the middle. Look where this one was, right down the middle. So again, if Gregorius catches it, you're out of the inning. I mean, this is a rocket, and he can't flag it down, gets the glove on it, and by that you know that you're going to score that second run. And Manny Machado makes it 2-0.
22 RBIs for Hardy. And he continues his hot hitting as he's done lifetime against Sabathia. And the Orioles get a lead as they get a big hit, really for the first time in this series. Ryan Flaherty, 1 for 8 in the series, takes the pitch up high. Ryan's getting the start in right field in this game, only the 2nd time that Flaherty has started in right field this year. Flaherty in this series has played first, third, and right, 3 positions in 4 games. 2 on and 2 out off the fists and back, 1-1.
Yeah, so there are the numbers. Tillman's much better than that. And again, I'm sure those RISP, the runner in scoring position numbers, have really escalated over the last 5 or 6 starts. That's how you give up 5-6 runs a game.
Ryan Flaherty looking for an RBI himself right here.
Well, he's hitting 308 against lefties. Now, it doesn't mean a Sabathia type lefties, but
faced him only 3 times and has had a couple of hits against Sabathia. 2 for 3. So that breaks the string of innings, 12 for Sabathia against the Orioles, in which he had not given up a run in the 2 starts that he had against them this year. 1-2 delivery on the way, and Flaherty will take it away. For Sabathia, he started on the 4th of May, gave up no runs, 6 hits and 7. And then on June 5 in Baltimore, no runs, 2 hits over 5. He won the first game. Yankees won it 7-0. He was non-decisioned in a 3-1 Orioles win, his last start against the Orioles. 2-2 delivery on the way, and Ryan will hit that one right off the fist. Reyes has got it and will record the out. But the Orioles are on the board. That's the start they wanted. They get 2 runs, 3 hits. J.J. Hardy getting the bases loaded 2 RBI single. Orioles to start the ball game with that 2-0 lead. Here's the lineup for the Yankees against Tillman. They'll have Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran, McCann, Teixeira, Gregorius. A-Rod's going to DH. Castro and Torreyes. Headley's still away on personal time against Tillman. You see why A-Rod's in.
Yep. Glowing numbers, even though he hasn't had a particularly good year. Fastball, 2-seam, 4-seam, breaking ball, curveball, slider, changeup. Had a great one in his last win, and it was a tough win. 7 innings, 4 runs coming, and a 2-1 victory. He's gone very efficient. Holds runners real well. Yankees do a little bit of running if the wrong guys get on. 6 of those home runs came in 2 games, 3 of them against the Yankees.
Gardner will lead it off against him. A 5-game hit streak for Brett Gardner. Tillman's delivery will be up. Chris is trying to join Chris Sale of the White Sox as a 14-game winner. Steven Strasburg also trying that today, but it isn't going very well. Strasburg has given up 6 runs, 7 hits, and 3 2/3 innings in the Nationals game today as the Dodgers lead Washington 6-1 in the 4th inning.
Yeah, he has not lost. Came in at 13-0.
In fact, he hadn't lost. He's got a 16-0 streak going in his last 21 starts. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that'll miss outside. Gardner's had 3 hits and 11 at-bats in the series. The left fielders had a spectacular series on the season against the Orioles, hitting .400 with a couple of RBIs. Brett Gardner, 3-0 pitch he's taking, and it is there for a strike. This apparently is the day where Gardner's going to take some pitches.
Yeah. Well, last night, first pitch triple, popped up the next time, then he took a couple.
First 2 games.
Well, he took 3 straight off of Vance Worley.
First just standing there waiting. 3-1 delivery by Tillman, and he walked it. So Tillman starts it with a leadoff walk to Gardner.
I'll take a look at the defense. REIMOLD, BORBON, and FLAHERTY. So a very unusual outfield for the Orioles. Machado, Hardy, Swope, Davis. That's the normal infield. And then because of the foot injury, Wieters, who usually catches Chris Tillman, the day off, Caleb Joseph now catching.
Still not clear whether Wieters could actually play or not after being hit by a pitch on the foot. That is never talked about by Buck Showalter. Showing bunt. It'll be taken by JACOBY ELLSBURY. So ELLSBURY, a couple of hits, 11 at bats in the series, moves Manny Machado in a bit at third base, even closer than he was on the first pitch. Table setters, Gardner, ELLSBURY always at the top for the Yankees. He can make things happen. Pitch is there for a strike.
Yeah, that's the slider that he has thrown much more here in 2016. Threw it last year, was more of a cutter. It's really been a pitch that he depends on. Curveball is a good one, but it's a low percentage pitch, so it just gives him a fourth pitch to choose from. And then you don't run on him. I mean, it's one of the more amazing things that I've seen very rarely. And of course, Gardner can run 13 out of 15 and stolen as many as 48, 49 bases in a year. But very few guys feel like they can make it against Chris Tillman.
1-1 delivery on the way. That's going to be a base hit into right field by ELLSBURY. Gardner will stay. Ball is bobbled, but he'd stopped running. Orioles get a break on that one.
Yeah,
as FLAHERTY bobbled it, but Gardner was not going to go, so he stopped at second and didn't have time to wind up.
Yeah, Flash is pretty happy that this ball goes right into his glove. Now maybe this is the outfield glove. Doesn't use it very much. But he kind of scoops it, and as he's taking it to his throwing hand right there, I mean, he's going to scoop it, comes up, doesn't get a handle, slips a little bit. Made a nice job. He comes in, and because of that, Gardner stops.
So the Yankees come right back, as they've got runners at first and second with nobody out, and Beltran coming to the plate. A switch hitter who has been red hot on the season, in fact, and he will take the pitch for a strike. He is 4 for 16 against Tillman with a home run. Beltran has picked up 60 RBIs, 20 home runs. On the left side of the plate, he's had 13 of those 20 long balls. Big speed in both Gardner and ELLSBURY, who are on. 0-1 delivery, off speed pitch will miss away.
Yeah, he had one of the 3 home runs when Chris pitched against the Yankees. It was back on the 3rd of June. Austin Romine hit a changeup. A-Rod sliced one over into the flag court in Baltimore, and he had one straight away.
Beltran only .226 in these situations this year. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery, and that's going to miss down low.
And he didn't even get even partly fooled on that changeup. That was probably as good a changeup that I've seen Chris Tillman throw in his last start in Tampa. Yeah, that's the amazing number. They're only hitting .224 as a team, so you got to think they think they're going to do better than that for the remaining games this year.
2-1 count, holding the runner close at second base, down to first. Played by Davis. They get one. The relay pitcher covers, and they get the double play. Big defensive play right there.
You know, Gary, when I'm doing the interview yesterday, Chris says, "Listen, I do my job, and that's making a good pitch." And he said, "In almost all of my starts, there's 3 or 4 outstanding defensive plays, and there's one of them." Because they turn this, not an easy. You know, you can see ELLSBURY trying to break it up, and then Tillman. You do it in spring training, but you do it during the game. Foot's on the bag, throws right there, out by a step or so.
And wisely picks that heel up so it would not be stepped on. So Chris Davis returns to first base, starting a big double play. Now there are 2 down. Over to third base goes Gardner, and that will bring up McCann with 2 away. McCann just 200 in these situations, where the Yankee, some of the order guys have some really low numbers, which is why that Yankee average is last in the league with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, it's just hard to believe because they're such veteran hitters with thousands and thousands and thousands of at-bats.
Tillman's got a chance to get out of the inning where the first 2 had reached. McCann's 4 for 16 lifetime against him. McCann will take the pitch, and that's going to miss up high.
Well, you know he's a fastball hitter. You know he's a pull hitter. You know he likes to cheat a little bit when he gets into these counts. Anything inside middle, unless it's way in on the corner, it becomes a home run ball here.
Orioles put the full shift on with a count at 2-0. And that pitch is going to be in there. That one had a wrinkle and tied him up.
That's the slider again. Well, what a difference it makes when Brian McCann was actually talking about some of his pitchers. He said, you just, you don't want the other team, or you don't, if you're Chris Tillman, you don't want him eliminating pitches. So he thinks he's going to get a fastball and he gets a slider.
2-1 count. Runner off third base, and McCann will take it inside. For Tillman against the Yankees this year, he got the win on May 3rd, a run on 5 hits over 7. He had a career high 9 strikeouts in consecutive starts with that game. Then on June 3, 3 home runs, consecutive ball games, and came out of that one. Ooh, good cut. He got one in there and kept it down. He was non-decisioned in the second start, 5 runs, 8 hits, and 5 2/3 innings. He had surrendered 3 home runs in the game before that, surrendered 3 against him in that one. 3-2, 2 down. McCann waiting on it, and he'll foul it back.
Yeah, so how often do you see 94, 95 from Chris Tillman in the first inning? So again, it's just the ability to stay inside of his windup, and he can really change speeds with his fastball. That's a gift that not a lot of pitchers have. Matt Wieters, who knows exactly what he may be thinking out there, because they came out of Double-A together.
3-2 delivery, and that's way outside. So Tillman has walked a couple here in the first inning. Let's take a look at our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers on Tillman.
Yeah, so you can see strikeouts much bigger on the road. The 2 losses, one of them goes down to Dallas. 2-1 game that got out of hand in the 6th inning. But how about being 8-0 at home in Camden Yards?
Chris Tillman is the first pitcher in Orioles history where his team has come out with wins in 17 of his first 20 starts. No Oriole pitchers ever had that before. And here's Teixeira. Came back last night, hit a home run. Pitch taken up high. He's had big numbers against Tillman, but not a long ball. He is 9 for 26. He had been out with the sore foot problem. A lot of injuries, minor ones that have plagued him all season. Yankees hoping he'll be healthy for the rest of the way. They need that bat. 1-0 delivery to him. Great pitch tailing away. 1-1.
Yeah, great changeup. And of course, I was reading all the tabloid papers here. He says, I've been terrible and I need to get better. And again, it's hard to do that. He needs right knee surgery. And of course, he fouls a ball when he's switch hitter, hits it off his left foot, so he misses 3 games. And he's 36 years old.
Teixeira held up. No.
He didn't think he went.
Brian Knight makes the call at third.
Well, this is what Brian's going to be looking at. And you can see how far that bat went out in front of home plate. He never broke his wrist, but they look on how far the bat head goes.
A good strike from Tillman. 1-2. Runners at first and third here in the first inning. Tillman, 22 pitches thrown and just missed.
Wow.
They were leaving for the dugout.
Well,
Caleb Joseph doesn't do that ever.
Well, I mean, this is a slider. Now he's sitting in, and it appears that the edge of the ball gets the plate. So they get a reprieve. Teixeira gets a chance to hit.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
And of course, he had to reach all the way across the plate to get it, which.
2-2 with 2 down. Tillman's pitch to him. Teixeira lifts it in the air. Playable in left. REIMOLD will come on and put it away. So the Yankees get the first 2 on, but can't score on 1 hit. A couple left on base. Orioles lead. Game, Diana Knowles from Cardiff. 500 for being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. You can play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Just go to mdlottery.com/baseball. The Orioles ended Sabathia's 12 innings of not giving up a run to the Orioles this year. They also ended the Yankees streak. During the Yankees' 4-game win streak, they had not allowed more than a run in any of the 4 games. 3-1, 2-1, 7-1, and 5-0 in those 4. It's only the second time in the last 30 years Yankees won 4 consecutive games allowing 1 or less runs. Popped up by Caleb Joseph, second base. Shading the eyes, Castro a pitch and an out here in the second inning. Birdland favorites coming back to the park tomorrow. First 20,000 fans, 21 and over. Indians ball game tomorrow night, 7:05. Get the Orioles floppy hat. You'll need it by the looks of the weather forecast. Presented by Miller Lite. Add to your Birdland wardrobe. Celebrate start of the season, second half of it at Oriole Park. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com.
Yeah, it's going to be toasty.
Just a little on the warm side. Well, here's Bourbon. Came into the ball game when Adam Jones had to come out after having back spasms last night. Now he gets his first start since joining the Orioles on the call-up, adding speed. 1-0 delivery by Sabathia will be there for a strike. He has played a lot of major league games, 289, counting his appearance defensively last night. His major league average, 272. He's had 8 home runs, 76 RBIs. He's stolen 47 bases, 47 for 61. He will pop that one up to short. Again with that glare, Gregorius will put it away.
Well, you can see his speed. He almost got the second on a routine pop to shortstop. And of course, he was airing it out back in the big leagues. Actually played a lot of center field for Texas when they went to the playoffs in 2008. And a high percentage. You know, I mean, yeah, I guess you'd like to be a little higher, but 77. What did Davey Johnson used to always say when he managed the Met? Over 75%. Yep. He's a couple of percent points over that.
So Bourbon out of there. A couple of quick outs for Sabathia. REIMOLD grounded out his first time up. 2 down, nobody on. Being efficient for both these pitchers will matter in this game when the temperature going over 90 as the afternoon rolls along and that bright sun. You want to get off that mound as quickly as possible. You always do, but especially days like this. That is going to be in there for a strike. 1-1 from Sabathia.
Yeah, I would think with Sabathia, and we saw it on the first pitch to Caleb Joseph. You can't until you get to 2 strikes look both in and out. I mean, then you're trying to hit like you do have 2 strikes, and the average is at what, 176. You got to either look in or away until you get to 2 strikes.
1-1 delivery is fouled back on a fastball.
And he had a pretty good swing. But if you try to hit both sides of the plate against CC, it's going to make his job a lot easier.
Nolan overall this year 246 against left-handers. Much better against the righties. Hitting 278. That was the number he had against lefties last year, 278. And that will be inside. Sabathia takes it to a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Sabathia, of course, we saw those big numbers he has had against the Orioles in his career. Trying to get his 20th lifetime win against 7 losses. 2-2 delivery. REIMOLD will fight that one away. That's the total of 19 wins against the Orioles, second highest that he's had against any ball club. He's beaten the Detroit Tigers 21 times. Kansas City, the White Sox, and the Orioles 19 times each. Again, the 2-2 delivery. REIMOLD will take it, and he's gone. So Sabathia records the strikeout and has a 1-2-3 inning. Gregorius, A-Rod, and Castro will be due up when we come back. time later in our ball game today, brought to you by Miller Lite. But Showalter went in to say hi this morning, but not for long. They don't hang around the Oriole clubhouse on this trip, and that flu bug all over the place. And Buck, he's here, but he has certainly felt a lot better in the way he feels today, but a heck of a lot better than yesterday.
Well, it's kind of like that Dodger game, and went 14 innings, and then you got to get home at 4 in the morning. Felt a lot better after you won it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good he'll feel, but it'll be a little bit better. The Orioles can eke out a win.
Gregorius leads it off, breaking ball to him. Gregorius couple for 10.
Just, I tell you, this is the 4th game I got to see all these umpires. I got to give them probably, I'm going to rate them as the worst crew I've seen all year. And that's only 4 games. I mean, that curveball's right down the middle. You don't get those pitches. And it's such a big difference between being, 0-1 and 1-0. And there are umpires. I mean, Tillman's got a good curveball. There are umpires that you sometimes have to tell them it's coming.
2-0 delivery on the way, and that's to third. Oh my gosh. Sunday Times base hit, and he's got great speed, and he's heading to second base and will get there safely. Gregorius right off the end of the bat, just cued it, and it died on the outfield grass.
I can't do a whole lot about that. You make a good pitch, and then he does cue it. But this is the approach we've seen in this series. Yes, they've hit 5 home runs. That's a changeup. Fools them. You're playing conventional defense. You're playing off the line, and you can see right on. I mean, literally chalk it up. Watch the spin on this ball as it gets by Manny Machado, playing off the line where he should have been.
So the Yankees again get a runner into scoring position. Leadoff man on for the 2nd inning in a row. And A-Rod coming up. A-Rod didn't play in the ball game last night. Back to the DH role because he's 7 for 19 with 5 home runs off Chris Tillman. And he will take the pitch for a strike. A-Rod has delivered a homer in this series, 1 for 6. Hit number 2 for the Yankees. Yankees already 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. They're 2 for 17 in the series. Great speed at second base. 0-1 delivery on the way. Punched in the air to right field. Flaherty will back up. Runner will tag. Flaherty's got it. Gregorius heads over, and he'll go to third base standing. 1 down and a runner on at third. On Saturday, the first 20,000 fans, 15 and over, 7:05 game against the Indians. Get the Orioles batting practice cap presented by PNC Bank. It's got that all-black cap with the cartoon bird on it. Get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Orioles have announced their starters for the series starting tomorrow night. Dylan Bundy, Trevor Bauer tomorrow, Kevin Gausman, Josh Tomlin Saturday night, and Vance Worley, Corey Kluber on Sunday afternoon. The Indians have the day off today. 1 down, Starlin Castro, and he'll take it for a strike.
Well, he struck out 63 times, and that's what Chris Tillman, if he gets ahead, is looking for. He's had a nice series. Big 2-run home run off Vance Worley, 2nd best exit velocity from home plate in the major leagues this year. Upper decker down the left field line.
He's had 6 RBIs against the Orioles this season. He may get another. Yep, make it 7. So Castro picks up the RBI single. Gregorius scores, and the Yankees are on the board 2-1.
Yeah, a little slider. And again, it ends up in the middle of the plate. Take a look where the target is, and the ball's probably another, 6 inches to the right, or actually the left of Joseph's target. It stays up enough. Nice base running by Gregorius, who goes back to tag up in case it's caught.
37 RBIs for Starlin Castro. And each team with 3 hits. Still only 1 down. Roland Torres at third base, 1 for 3 in the ball game for Chase Headley last night. Headley still away, left the ball club for personal reasons yesterday. Runner fakes a go, and that is fouled away. Castro took about 4 steps towards second base. And then stopped. Now, let's see if they put a run and hit and runner on here.
Yeah, I was thinking that if the count gets to 2-0, 2-1, which he'd have to throw a couple of balls, but he did that triple to right center.
And a little nubber to short. That'll go to Hardy for one. Over to first base, and the Orioles turn their second double play of the ball game. A run in on a couple of hits, no errors, nobody left on. Yankees 2-1 down. Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Hope you're having a great day today. Orioles day game before they head back to Baltimore for the weekend series against Cleveland. And then the Colorado Rockies will be coming to town during the homestand as the Orioles and Yankees wrap up this 4-game set. The Orioles trying to avoid the 4-game sweep. Right now leading it 2-1. Jonathan Scope, a single and a run scored in the ball game. Sabathia will get the breaking ball down low. As far as sweeps are concerned, the last 4-game sweep here in New York was back in 2005 for the Yankees against the Orioles. Last 3-game sweep last July here in New York. That's to the hole. They weren't playing him that way. Chase down Castro. Fine play as he makes the running throw.
Yeah, I think when you play that far up the middle, and most of the second basemen do, you're kind of you're leaning. Look at him lean left. So he's leaning left. He's a former shortstop. He actually gets to the ball very easily, and it's not hit that hard. Otherwise, probably would have gotten into right field. But a nice play.
The leadoff man retired. We'll bring up Manny Machado. Manny returned to the lineup, picking up a base hit in his first at bat. So Manny now over the last 7 games 3 for 23. The off speed pitch is in for a strike from Sabathia. Top of the 3rd inning. Crowd on hand for the day game. Lots of kids from camps and little leagues paraded around before the ball game. That one's going to miss. Sabathia again staying off speed. 1 ball 1 strike. ERA last year for Sabathia 4.73. He's actually put that down to 3.94 this season. 1-1 delivery right off the fist. Reyes. There's Teixeira saving, as first baseman do, an error.
And that's what he did last night with Reyes, as he bounced one last night. Always won 5 Gold Gloves. Again, right here, just trying to get good timing, and then he bounces it way out. That wasn't an easy play. You know, the short hop where you can almost reach it, but that ball bounced what, 2-3 feet in front of him, and he still flagged it down. It's like a sinker.
He has the Statue of Liberty finish. We're in New York after all, and I don't mean that negatively, but Mark does that all the time. That's the way he finishes on scoops. He brings that arm way up over his head. And the pitch with 2 down, nobody on to Trumbo is up. Popped up his first time up to second base. Trumbo now with a couple of hits in 11 at bats in the series. Sabathia looking to retire the side in order for the second time. Left field going back Gardner. He's got plenty of room. And Sabathia does set the side down in order. 7 in a row retired by the left-hander. Orioles lead it 2-1. By T-Mobile. On our notebook page, East wins. Evan Longoria is heated up for Tampa Bay. 7 extras, 7 RBIs, last 4. Just the 5th player this year. The 7 extra base hits and 7+ RBIs in 4 games. Beltran, who we're watching, 3rd oldest player at the time of his 20th home run. He got it last night. A-Rod, Babe Ruth, the other 2. Ramirez, what a night. 3 home runs last night, each with a man on base. Last one to do that, 3 home runs, man on base, Josh Hamilton. 2012. That was against the Orioles in a 4-homer game that he had against the O's on May 8th of that year. Here is Brett Gardner, leadoff batter, walked, stranded. First time up, will take the pitch for a strike. By the way, A-Rod was 39 years old when he hit his 20th home run late in his career. Back in last year, and Babe Ruth in 1934 was also 39, and he had that 20th home run at a no longer tender age for baseball.
Yeah, I was trying to look at some of the, I looked at Hank Aaron. He had 39 home runs when he was 39, but you go to Mays when he was 38, 39, it was 23, 28 home runs.
Tillman with the 0-2 delivery on the way, and he got that one by him, foul tipped, and it's held onto for the strikeout.
And Gardner doesn't want to leave. He goes once again. He walked him, and the first time every ball was outside. So right here, this is 94, and it's right on the corner, so you can't take it. What's this? He doesn't want to go. No, I'm supposed to foul that off. Can't believe you caught it. I'm not going.
Make sure he had it. Staring at the glove.
It's not fair.
So Tillman gets his first strikeout. Jacoby Ellsbury in the off-speed breaking ball. Ellsbury a base hit. His first time up. Tillman helped by a couple of double plays turned already in this ball game for the Orioles that have made a big difference. Ellsbury the 0-1, and that's going to miss inside.
We were talking about the 9 catcher's interferences that he has this year. Pete Rose, I think, has 29. He has 24. He goes, I said, how do you do that? He said, well, what I don't like is that there are errors on the catcher, they're not hits. I'd rather have them be hits, which is what I think was the case when Pete hit.
It's a strange call.
Yeah. So again, you don't get credit. You get to go to first, but it's not a base hit.
It's an error.
So I guess he's looking at his average, and he could use 9 extra hits.
Saw Caleb Joseph. See him move backwards. He ran right into the home plate umpire, Mark Carlson. 2-1 delivery on the way. Maybe mindful, certainly mindful of Ellsbury's tendency to hit the catcher's glove. So he actually backed up maybe a little bit.
Yeah, well, Worley threw him a good 2-seamer, and he literally hit it out of the glove. But it was on the. A lot of times, you think it's going to be some interference if the ball's in, but this was down and away, and he hit the glove on the way to making contact.
2-2 delivery by Tillman. See that bat alive on the foul ball. Orioles trying to get their 21st win on the road. They are now 20-26 in road games. Still have that great home record, 33-14. That will be tested in the upcoming series over the weekend against the Cleveland Indians. 2-2 up and got him. So a couple of strikeouts here in the third.
Yeah, I think that slider, that's what he fouled hard down the right field line. It just gives him an extra pitch. So then all of a sudden we saw Gardner swing at a similar pitch. Joseph right on the corner. And he just rides the ball up in the zone at 95. It's going to get a lot of hitters out, especially when you've established that you'll throw other pitches. And you could see how just trying to somehow make contact couldn't do it.
We'll bring Beltran to the plate. And he fights it off. Beltran hit into the double play. And the runners on. 2 on in that inning. That really was the reason the Yankees did not get on the board in the first.
Yeah, hit it sharply, but as you mentioned, Chris Davis back from the flu. Nice catch, nice throw, and then a nice cover by Chris Tillman to get the double play.
Shift remains on. Chris way back at first. Jonathan Scope in shallow right field.
Well, he did bunt last night, and it set up a couple of run inning. And it's kind of telling him right now, if you want to do it again, go ahead.
1-1 delivery to him. A comebacker. It's really slow. Tillman will play it over to first base in a solid inning. Retires the Yankees in order. We've completed 3. Orioles lead it 2-1. Fourth inning of Orioles baseball brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you here at Yankee Stadium. And the Orioles have the 2-1 lead. Road trip concludes with this game. They are 2-4 currently. They had averaged 1.7 runs per game. They've already exceeded that. Team ERA on the road trip's been 4.14. Starters have gone 1-4. The bullpen a win and 2 saves. As the bats so quiet. That 187 batting average on the road trip prior to this game. Sabathia back to work, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Chris Davis drew a walk. his first time up. Davis, Hardy, and Flaherty. The season series with a victory last night. The Yankees now have a 5-4 edge. Staying inside on the hands and missing 1-1.
Yeah, it's amazing. Having played almost as long as I have, is that the Orioles have won 3 of the last 14 here. It's hard to explain why.
Yep. They have. This has just been a struggle for them, even though they've won the series overall. That one chopped right off the plate. And ooh, that was close. Chris Davis hustling down the line.
Yeah, I think that was Castro.
Yeah, it was Castro.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He put the shift on. He got different positions. Of course, former shortstop, as I keep saying that, but that does give him a range factor.
He came a long way to get that one.
Again, you got to keep your balance. I know maybe if you're moving, you don't fall, but it looks like you almost fall face first into the infield dirt.
Another good defensive play. Sabathia's had some good infield work behind him last couple of innings. Hardy, the big hit in the ball game so far. He came up with the bases loaded in that first inning with 2 down, delivered the 2 RBI single. So Hardy, who came into the game hitting only .200 against the Yankees this year, it's a big blow early. 1-0 delivery, and that will be taken down low. So Sabathia falls behind JJ 2-0.
Yeah, the only ball that was really hit hard was the one that JJ hit. And that's you talked about making mistakes, and that's why it's been a struggle his last 5-6 starts. That was one of them, fastball right in the middle of the plate.
Already
like
2-0, and that one's right there too. And JJ will take it for a 2-ball 1-strike count. Hardy's 255 off lefties, 268 off the right-handers. He's had a great start, not start anymore, a great half of July, hitting .321. 2-1 pitch to him, and Hardy will take it on the inside corner. Sabathia threading some cloth there with a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Well, he's always been able to, at a much higher velocity, be able to pitch in and out and in. And again, he throws that pitch, which was perfectly located, and then he'll throw a slider that looks like that and will dive to your back leg.
2-2, and Hardy's on it again. Hits that one into right field. Beltran over to get it. Hardy will take a turn and stay, and he's 2 for 2 in the ball game, and well over 300 now against Sabathia in his career.
This looked like an Eric Hosmer swing right here. Just kind of fight it off, hit it the other way. 2 strikes. Put it in play, and sometimes good fortune comes from that.
So the Orioles have hit number 4, and with 1 away, Ryan Flaherty.
Well, that's kind of important, because if Ryan can, and I don't know if he will, but if he can get a ball that he can pull, because Teixeira is holding Hardy on, even though he's not going to run, it does give you an avenue to hit it into right field.
Flaherty fouls it back. Ryan doesn't get a lot of chances against left-handers, generally would not be in this ball game, but with the flu and injuries, he is. He has had 14 at-bats against lefties, 4 for 14 against left-handers this season.
And you got to think the Rickard hand injury has to be to his right hand. Actually, his what?
Flaherty got that one to right, back near the warning track. Beltran runner halfway, and Flaherty's retired. 2 down. On Sunday, the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the '66 World Champions continue. First 20,000, 15 and over, 135 game. Get Jim Palmer's replica jersey presented by UMBC's 50th anniversary. And of course, after the game, kids 14 and under get to run the bases. It's the Indians in town Sunday afternoon. Get tickets at Orioles.com. Oriole t-shirt day here at Yankee Stadium on this 90-degree day game. Strike taken on the inside corner. Caleb Joseph popped out his first time up, 2 down. Hardy's on at first base. Sabathia's delivery to him. That's going to miss. Flaherty looking to pick up some hits against the Yankees, as a left-hander. Caleb Joseph looking to pick up hits as a right-hander, because this season it's been a struggle. He is 0 for 11 against the Yankees on the year. 1-1 pitch on the way, and that'll be fouled over the screen.
Yeah, again, when you're hitting 155, came in last night at 160, you know you're swinging at balls because you're not playing as much, even though he's played regularly because of the injury to Wieters being hit by the pitch the other night. You just chase. He's a low ball hitter, and yet he's swung at one about, what, letter high? It's not his strength.
1-2. And way inside. Wieters available in an emergency situation, which means the Orioles hope they don't have to play him. Let that foot rest for another day and hopefully get back tomorrow. No time given on the injury to Joey Rickard with that hand injury. Sabathia's 2-2 delivery to him. Foul territory. Teixeira coming over. Will have no play. So Caleb keeps the count 2-2. Broke the bat on that one. He will get a new piece of lumber. Red Sox, who are leading the Orioles by the half game, will be at home tonight against Minnesota. The Red Sox have won 6 in a row at home, and overall 8 of their last 9. They've had 16 home runs in the last 9 games. That'll go to short, and the out recorded at second base. Gregorius de Castro. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Orioles lead. One Automotive, offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit the men's store or online at mileone.com. Orioles head back home after this one. The Indians Friday and Saturday nights, and Sunday afternoon. Dylan Bundy tomorrow night against Trevor Bauer. Game will be on Masson 2, 6:30 O's extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game.
Yeah, leading the Central Division.
Cleveland's looking to bolster their roster.
Yeah, they have the best record in the American League now.
Pitch is taken for a strike. Ryan McCann leading it off. Drew a walk his first time up. Teixeira, Gregorius due up against Tillman. Chris has 2 walks and 2 strikeouts so far. And the pitch away. Cleveland Indians will come in 56 and 38 with a 7.5 game lead over the Tigers. That is substantial. They've been a good road team. They've won 30 and lost 22 on the road. 1-1 delivery down to first. Davis has got it. And McCann is retired. 1 away. Let's take a look at our PNC minor league report. PNC for the Achiever.
Yeah, the Orioles actually go internationally as Miranda comes out of Cuba. And he was actually called up with the Orioles for a brief time. So, the whole year not that good, but lately, and that's what you're kind of looking at. It looks like he has a good arm, good feel, good split changeup. Throws pretty hard. And pitching well. Like to see that. And he's starting. He started.
And the pitch taken down low by Teixeira. Flied out his first time up.
And that was the big out, as you mentioned, Gary. He was able to get out of that first inning. Teixeira lofting one to left field.
1-0 delivery, and trying to loft one out of the ballpark. Teixeira with that big uppercut. 1-1.
Well, injured, and like you said, I've been terrible. I need to get better. And because when he gets hurt, Rob Snyder's played over there. It probably would be Greg Bird, who had a great year but hurt his shoulder and had to have surgery. Imagine with Teixeira's contract lapsing. If Bird's healthy, chance to make the Yankees next year.
That's why for Cashman, the heat's been on by the media here in New York, even with the 3 wins in this series. Clean house. Get rid of veteran players while you can still get something for them. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Joe Girardi, on the other hand, believes we're in it. And it'll be fouled away.
And I think that's the mentality. If you look at the Yankees the last couple of years, 87 wins. They won the World Series, what, in 2009 when Joe was there. But, somehow they always finish over 500, even when they're not healthy, or they're a couple of years ago, they lost, what, 4 of their 5 starters? So that's his mindset. I'll get it done. We'll figure it out.
1-2 delivery on the way, and the off-speed pitch teasing a little bit. 2 ball, 2 strike count to Teixeira. Gregorius waiting on deck. Yankees, of course, even with the 3 wins, are still 6 games out, and you got to pass clubs. That's what gets real tough. Toronto's only a game behind Boston, and Baltimore a half game. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery by Tillman, and he came in and got him. Good pitch, 3 Ks.
Yeah, nice slider. We'll take a look at our Nissan pitch track. Everybody goes, well, 13-2. You get a lot of things got to go well. You got to pitch well, but you also have to have multiple pitches to choose from. And the slider, and that's about as good as you can throw overhead. You started on the plate. Mark Teixeira thinks it's going to be a strike, and then because of the break of the slider, we saw it all last night from Pineda against the Oriole hitters. Tough pitch to hit.
That'll bring Gregorius to the plate. D.D. Gregorius 2 down, nobody on. A double run scored in the 2nd inning. Starlin Castro, the RBI single to put the Yankees on the board after the Orioles had the 2 RBI bases loaded base hit by Hardy in the 1st inning.
Well, the Yankees have gone 74 games without being shut out, and you can see how hard it is to shut anybody out, because he just hit a pool cue double.
Right down the 3rd baseline. He came into the season with a .253 major league batting average, flirting with the 300 mark right now at .298. He hit .265 last year, the Yankees, first season with them, but appears to have really settled in and has done the job at short and at the plate. Tillman's delivery to him, spotting it. He went up after it. 1-2.
Well, we saw him in Arizona, and when you're a pitcher, especially a starting pitcher, you kind of look for bat speed. Either you look at film or sit on the bench, and he had that. And that was like 3 or 4 years ago. And they knew he was a good defensive player, and somebody has to replace Derek Jeter or take his place. Replace him. But that's hard to do.
1-2, and he fooled him. Did not get a good cut. Tillman, 4 strikeouts, 2 in this inning. He's retired the side in order, 2 consecutive, protecting the Orioles lead. Orioles baseball on MASN, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by First National Bank, redefining convenience in banking. Manhattan skyline over Central Park on this very summer afternoon.
Hazier than the last couple of days.
Humidity moving in. They're expecting their hottest weekend of the summer so far. Here in New York, temperatures will be up in the upper 90s or 100 or better. CC Sabathia working here in the 5th inning. Showing bunt. Bourbon went after it and couldn't get it.
Well, it's a good weekend to either go to the Hamptons or maybe Cooperstown. What do you think?
Let's see. The lake is in Cooperstown, so I choose Cooperstown.
Yeah, okay.
That'll bring Torreyes in at third base.
Well, that's the whole idea. Bring him in on the first strike and maybe hit it by him if you get a pitch to hit.
And he falls behind 0-2.
Of course, that's a big if.
Major League wise for Bourbon, he has played mostly in center field, 172 games. He has played all the outfield positions, DH 23 times. But center field's where he's been. The 0-2 pitch tapped foul as he protects the at bat. That one.
You know, that's, yeah, you know, with his speed, if that's fair, even though Reyes is playing there, or at least close to the line, it's going to be a base hit. He could absolutely run. 20 steals down at AAA Norfolk.
Playing with the Bay Sox this year in 83 games, he hit .289, 5 home runs, 20 RBIs. Would be at AAA. There wasn't enough room. The Orioles left camp with a supply of outfielders, and Rick Showalter talked about it at the time that there were players, and Bourbon's one of them, who probably in most cases would have played at AAA, but they just didn't have room for them. 0-2 the count. Be REIMOLD and SCHOOP. 2-1 ball game. Orioles lead it, out hitting the Yankees 4-3. Sabathia's delivery to him is down to third base. Torreyes had stayed in on the ground. Probably needed to, just to record the ground ball out. Tomorrow night, after you enter the Oriole Park gates to the O's Indians game, stop by the official Orioles team store at Utah Street. And Jim's going to be there signing copies of his new book, 9 Innings to Success, a Hall of Famer's Approach to Achieving Excellence. So the opportunity to see Jim get the book autographed, that's going to be tomorrow, 5:30 to 7. That's at the Orioles team store on Utah Street.
Air conditioning.
Need a pen?
No, I got plenty of those.
Okay, good.
They have the air conditioning, 99 degrees, I think.
Think you'll need it?
Yes.
Unless people want sweaty books. Here's Nolan REIMOLD, and hit hard right into the shift. Castro makes the play.
A little flare there. I don't mean the catch, because that ball was massaged. But again, he had plenty of time to get up and throw him out, but he's going to catch it. I mean, perfect positioning. And I mean, Nolan looks away and gets a pitch to drive. Umpire's saying, thanks for saving me. And then right to Todd Tichenor diving out of the way.
So Sabathia gets a couple outs here in the 5th. Jonathan Schoop, base hit, scored in the 1st inning, robbed of a hit by Castro in the 3rd. 2 down, bases are empty. And the breaking ball by Sabathia is in there for a strike.
You can see, I mean, you know, he doesn't throw 95, 97 like he used to, but 90, you know, a little bit harder than last year. He's usually at 88, 89, but he can cut it, he can turn it over, he can backdoor it with a slider.
0-1 tailed away. Great pitch. Sold that one with the follow through. Take a look at the second baseman.
So Altuve, who's looks like he's on his way to win another batting title. Cano having a terrific year. Murphy, Mets wish they had signed him. They need offense. He goes to the Nats.
Schoop, he got jammed. Reyes in. Makes the play in another 1-2-3 inning. Sabathia is now retired 13 of the last 14 batters he's faced. However, the Orioles still lead it by 1. 1992, there was a matchup of 300 game winners. The Phillies' Tim Keefe would get the win in the game against Pud Galvin. The next time it would happen would be 113 years later. And it would feature Maddox against Clemens, Maddox getting the win. And in 1990, Ben McDonald made his first major league start, shutting out the White Sox, allowing 4 hits. Became the first AL pitcher to debut with a shutout in 15 years. Way to go, Ben.
I think we're going to see Ben later on. I think he's going to maybe do some radio over the course of the summer. Terrific guy. I was looking out there. The Tigers are in whites, in Chicago, and Ed Farmer, who does radio for him, scouted Ben McDonald. Did the best college pitcher we ever saw.
He was magnificent.
And then he goes on to talk about Mike Messina, who pitched here and in Baltimore. He said, boy, I saw him the first time. Glad I went back the second time. Wasn't too good, but boy, was he great the next time. Orioles signed him. 270 wins later. Orioles Yankees.
Ben was 22 years old when out of Louisiana State back in 1990 when he had that shutout win.
I think they drafted him in '89, and they were in the pennant race, and they suggested to Larry Lucchino, if he's that good, why don't you bring him up now, because the Orioles needed pitching. And don't ever say that on the air again, because you're going to ask for more money.
A-Rod with a 1-ball, 1-strike count on him. Takes an inside corner strike, didn't think so. He flied out to right field his first time up. Tillman, like Sabathia, setting down Yankees after that run scored in the second inning. Got a double play ground ball and has retired the last 8 batters.
Yeah, the fly ball he hit the first time up was similar to the home run he hit. It just hit a little bit better in Baltimore.
Up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. Castro and then Torreyes. Bottom third of the order for the Yankees. 2-4-0 for the Orioles. 1-3-0 for the Yankees. Tillman's 2-2 will be high and away. Versus had a little problem retiring leadoff batters. Not bad, but the Yankees have had 2 leadoff batters on in 4 innings. Chris overall 68% retired, which is good. I'd like to get up to around 70. Here's the 3-2 delivery to Rodriguez, and that's going to go to short. Hardy. Look what I found. Makes the play, and A-Rod's retired.
Well, it's amazing when you win 3 gold gloves. Sometimes you find more balls than other shortstops. And again, you hardly ever see him do that, but I imagine he looked it right into the glove. Or the glove just tracked the ball, which it usually does.
Smiling a little bit, looking over its scope.
Even if you wanted to get out of the way, it was hit so hard you couldn't.
Veteran knows I could take my head off, so I best look up.
That's how you do it, folks.
Castro a base hit, RBI. Starlin Castro 2 for 7 against Tillman. Pitch will be outside for a ball. Talked about CC Sabathia's birthday. Michael Bordick is celebrating a birthday today too. Well, Mike, we'll see you back in Baltimore. Be easy on yourself now on your birthday today.
Yeah. Bordy.
Yeah. 1-0 delivery, confirming that he is in fact much younger than we would have originally guessed.
Yes. He probably wore CC out. Good, probably get that number.
Birthday day.
Yeah, you got 2 birthday boys. They probably faced each other.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Tillman with the 1-1 delivery on the way. And got the outside corner strike. 1-2. On our Coons.com league leaderboard, brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counted.
Yeah, Porcello hadn't lost at home yet for the Red Sox, and Chris Sale. There's Tilly with 2 losses. I think Sale has 3.
And Tillman backed off. 1 down and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And that'll be away. Strasburg still in. The Dodgers leading 6-2 over the Nationals, and he's given up 6 runs, 7 hits over 6 now. He too was looking for his 14th win today. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Outfield shaded to right. All pulled, foul. Castro keeps the at bat alive at 2-2.
Yeah, he's only
Castro 250 against the Orioles this year, but 7 RBIs.
Well, they got a really, I mean, they got a guy that they go back 3 years ago. With, he would steal over 20 bases every year. It looks like he may hit more home runs this year than he has since early in his Cub career. A normal year, home runs the last couple of years 11-12, so he's already got 11.
And a swing and a miss. Boy, did that pitch go down and away.
Well, there's the changeup, and he had such a great one, and you sell it with your arm speed. And he's got a great fastball today. Maybe the command a little bit off early. Again, he buzzed to 94-mile-per-hour fastball, and then throws the changeup on the next pitch right off it, and he gets fooled.
And just walks away. 2 down, nobody on here in the 5th. Torreyes hit into a double play his first time up. Tillman gets it in. Torreyes gets it out. Flaherty will play it on a hop. So that'll end the streak in which he had retired 10 in a row, counting the double play in the 2nd inning. A 2-out single by Torreyes.
Yeah, you figure you just make him put it on play, and it looks like he's got a nice little swing. Tripled last night to right center. Led by Adam Jones to try to cut it off. Couldn't.
Torreyes on with Gardner coming up. By the way, Bordy against CC Sabathia was 2 for 9. A double and a home run.
See, it's all about slugging.
Power.
That's right.
Power bat.
Yeah, you got to set him up. He probably, I can just see it now. He's 0 for 7, and then he doubled and homered.
Yeah.
He's that type. He was very crafty.
Just set Sabathia up to deliver the long ball.
Just when he wasn't suspecting or expecting.
The off-speed pitch is in for a strike.
This is when you have 4 pitches to choose from and 13-2 with an ERA of over 3 runs a game. Those are the kind of numbers you put up there. You get guys out a lot different ways.
Gardner will take it away. He's drawn a walk and he has struck out. 3 hits, 12 at bats in the series. Gardner's got a 5-game hit streak coming into this ball game since way back on June 3rd. His batting average is .310. Extended period of good at bats. Takes that one for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Tillman with 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Sabathia still 1 walk, 1 strikeout in the ball game. But these 2 pitchers matching up in another tight game. Dom Chidi working with the pitchers from the dugout. Dave Wallace away. Family matters. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and he just loops that one into center. That went a little further than Bourbon thought it might, and he hauls it in. 3rd out, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Orioles lead it 2-1.
Highlights, Orioles trying to get on the board early in the first. Chris Davis will walk to load him up, and J.J. Hardy, who's hitting about 320 in the month of July, hits a bullet that Gregorius can't catch. It gets by him. Schoop and Manny Machado make it 2-0. And those are your Geico highlights. Orioles still leading at 2-1. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
And we go to the 6th inning as the Orioles looking to get out of the 4-game losing streak and avoid the 4-game sweep by the Yankees. Manny Machado's had a base hit and he is grounded out. Goes after the first pitch to center. ELLSBURY will meander over. Machado retired. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 6th inning. Text Masson's word of the day: steakhouse. To 29292, your chance to win a signed Chris Davis baseball and Outback gift card from Masson. That's steakhouse. 29292, brought to you by Outback Steakhouse, open for lunch every, that's right, bloomin' day, with over 70 combos starting at $6.99.
Oh, we see. Monday we had the bloomin' onion, then we had sirloin on Tuesday. Their fillets are actually quite good, as their burgers.
But we're making it harder because you got to spend more time writing the words. They get longer as the week goes on. Pitch is taken inside.
And they also have double pork chops there.
That's my favorite. Pork chops.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they make a double pork chop.
I like pork
my
chops.
good friend Mr. Nobody, the car dealer.
Yes.
Richard used to. He probably have like 2 orders of them. They're that good.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a lot of meat. Sabathia's pitch is there. Trumbo 0 for 2. He has popped out and flied out. He's had only 3 hits now in his last 20 at bats. He is due for a long ball.
Yeah, well, he's, again, when you get hot, he, having a nice July 5 home runs, a little bit under 300. Maybe swing at a few more pitches that you regret.
He wanted that one.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, Morneau and then Batista, as you mentioned, getting ready to come off the DL. That's a lot of home runs per at bat. Every 9.9 he's been able to hit them. I mean, this is a great park to hit, as is Camden Yards, especially if you've got power to right center.
1-2 delivery off the fist. It's got squib. Castro again. Lordy.
It's
a lot of Cano games.
Yeah, it's a harder play for him because he's coming across the diamond, and Gregorius, I think either one of them could have made the play, but he cuts in front of him. You can see Gregorius is going to catch it, and then he has to throw across his body. And not only that, he gets to it quickly, and then how about the accuracy of this throw?
We got 2 of the really fine second basemen playing in this game, and Jonathan Schoop and Starlin Castro.
Well, they moved Castro when they brought up Addison Russell, who they had traded for.
He covers so much ground. He, like on that play, as Jim said, he takes balls away from other infielders. That ball right off the end. Sabathia guns it and didn't get him.
Yeah, couldn't get him.
Pulled him off, and a good hustle down the line by Chris Davis.
You could see him pick it up, and it looked like as he was picking it up, the ball rolled into the top of his hand, so he couldn't really get on top of it. So take a look, gets it quick. See right there, just a little bit of a mishandle. And then by the time he does it, again, you have to understand, coming off knee surgery last year, year before, wearing the brace, gets to it very easily. Just doesn't make a good throw, so the Orioles get a break.
Error will be charged on Sabathia. That's the first error of the ball game. Let's see if the Orioles can take advantage of it. It extends the inning, and Hardy's 2 for 2. 2 singles, 2 RBIs with that bases loaded hit he got in the first inning, and a 1-0 count. Maybe equally important, of course, it keeps Sabathia on the mound a little longer rather than ending the inning.
Well, he ran into trouble in his last start with the 3-run home run against the Red Sox to Sandy Leon in the 6th inning. Again, here he's really, thrown 1 or 2 pitches in the middle of the plate through the 6th, and that's pitching pretty well.
And the pitch will be right there for a strike to JJ. So 1 ball, 1 strike count with 2 down. You see what happens based on pitch count. He's thrown 80. And that would make sense for a 36-year-old veteran who's piled up a lot of innings.
Yeah, over 3,300 innings now.
Ooh,
well, There's
fell
a balk,
down, ball gets away, runner will go to second.
Well, yeah, I just hope he didn't hurt himself because, you know, you go straight down. And, you know, nobody on, you kind of would chuckle, but it gets a runner in scoring position, and right there, he just looks like his front foot slips, and then you go down. See, right there, it caught his front foot, and again, all of a sudden, he just couldn't stride. You see how he slides the front foot? That's why he's always been tough to run on. He's a huge man, 6'7", 250, 60. So you're just hoping that he's all right. And
he's waving off the trainer.
Telling him, go back. It's my birthday. Do what I want to. Isn't that a song? That's right. It's my birthday. I'll do what I want.
I can fall if I want to. Fall if I want to. Yeah. It's my birthday and I'll fall if I want to. Thank you, Leslie Gore. J.J. Hardy, the runner moves up on, I think that was called a balk. Second base umpire indicated that, Todd Tichenor. So 1 ball, 1 strike count remains on Hardy. And now with the runner at second base. Well, and the pitch away to him.
And I think when you look at the numbers, already 2 hits for J.J., and you look at Flaherty on deck, who do you really want to pitch to? It's almost like Joe Girardi or say, hey, let's just pitch. I'll take my chances with Flaherty. Nothing against Ryan, but this is a game of matchups. And if you give up another run here, it could be pretty critical.
Orioles 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. That was the hit by Hardy in the first inning. 2 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Sabathia trying to work his way out of this inning. Orioles have stranded just 3. Same for the Yankees. Haven't had a lot of base runners on, with each team picking up 4 hits.
Yeah, see, the scoreboard has a count of 3 and 1, and I think that's what it is. And
yeah, the balk, it was a balk called on Sabathia, allowing the runner to go to second. So a 3 ball, 1 strike count. Two down, runner off second base. Hardy towards the hole again. Gregorius makes the play. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. Tight ball game. Pitchers dominating. Game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, 5 strikeouts on the afternoon, you know, and again, all kinds of different pitches. Great slider to Mark Teixeira, who homered last night, and then right there, Gregorius, who's been red hot, fastball right by him. We heard he'd done that to Ellsbury and Gardner.
Summer day at the park. Horses are out with the carriage rides. A lot of people enjoying the summer day. Chris Tillman enjoying it so far. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He's retired 8 in a row at 1 point, and 10 in a row at 1 point before the single in the last inning by Torres. He'll get Jacoby Ellsbury, middle of the order coming here. Beltran and then McCann, and he will start him away. Ellsbury a base hit his first time up, and he has struck out. Chris looking for win number 14.
Yeah, got behind Jacoby the first time. 2-0 single to right. Struck him out. Got when he got ahead of him.
1 ball, 1 strike count. 8 career starts previously in this ballpark. 3 and 4. ERA of 7.3. Obviously much better than that here at the stadium today so far. 1-1 delivery, and that's going to miss away. And a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles will start stretching a couple of people in the bullpen here in the 6th inning.
Well, Chris got to the part of that Adam Jones George Gerald trade. Eric Bedard going up to Seattle, and
broken bat pop up to short, glasses down. Hardy looking and makes the catch. That's the high sky we were talking about. On Saturday, August 20, the first 25,000 fans 15 and over at the Astros game get the Crush Davis bobblehead. This unique item of the slugger with the superhero alter ego Samson. Item bound to be a fan favorite, so hope you'll be there to get yours. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD.
Get Samson's autograph too.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That is his real dog, by the way.
I understand. So you've taught your dog how to autograph baseballs with your name on it.
With your name on it. It's like a stamp on a paw.
Exactly.
You put the name on it, this dog just stamps it. Carlos Beltran, 2-0 count.
Yeah, really careful. Hottest hitter. Most home runs on this team. I mean, red hot 380 hitter. Going back, what, about 27 games. As we mentioned, previous start, a home run to center field off of Chris Tillman.
That is going to be there for a strike.
And he's looking inside half, and I mean, that's what veteran hitters do. Not that he can't hit the ball out over the plate, but he's looking inside. He wants to drive a ball here, maybe tie the game up.
He's only had 1 home run in July, but he is hitting .339 for the month.
Well, that home run went what off of Chaz Rowe was blasted.
3 ball, 1 strike count on him. McCann waiting on deck. His middle of the order just has not been obviously as productive as the Yankees had hoped. A little chopper. This is going to be who gets to first. Tillman does, and a nice flip by Davis for the 2nd out.
Yeah, again, we talk about it all the time. Chris Davis underrated as a defensive guy. You look, home run champ 2 of the last 3 years. But again, I mean, this is you practice it all spring down in Sarasota, and then it happens real time. So again, this is not an easy play. Get the ball to him. You got to catch it and find the bag. And how do you do this? There's Davis doing it. You run kind of parallel to the line, so you know where it is. It's not like you're coming at an angle. You cut it off just to get there ahead of the base runner. So nicely, seems like it's routine, but it's not.
Caleb Joseph helping his pitcher. Asked the umpire for a new baseball and then took it out to the mound rather than throwing it. So Tillman catches his breath after going over to cover first. Here's McCann. McCann grounded out and has drawn a walk. McCann has not had a hit in this 4-game set. He is 0 for 8. Tillman's pitch to him will be up high. McCann against the Orioles this year has only had 3 hits. 3 for 21 against the Orioles, but he has had 4 RBIs against them.
He drove in the winning run on Monday night and the 2-1 win.
With a sac fly.
Yeah.
Pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Seen a lot of great pitching here in this 4-game set. And again today, both starters outstanding. 1-1 delivery.
Yeah, I think you come into this series and the Orioles their starting staff as a whole is what it's 5.11. So obviously not where you want your starters. Bullpen 3rd best in the American League. But you look at the Yankees, if you look at their records and not the stuff, you go, oh well, we ought to be able to score runs. But they have pitched much better than their records indicate,
especially of late.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got him to go after, 1 away. So Tillman continues strong. He gets McCann, retires the side in order. That's 6 strikeouts, and the Orioles will try and build on their 1-run lead. numbers, our PNC inside the number board.
Yeah, so the pitching's gotten better, but the offense, I mean, 19-9 in the month of June, over 6 runs a game, so that kind of gets it up to where it's 5.17, and then July, and it's early. With it 6-9 coming into today.
Orioles putting 2 up in this one early. They've not scored since the first. Hardy, the 2 RBI bases loaded single. Adam Jones making an appearance in the dugout. Back spasms, the problem. You got to believe he had that looked at while the game's been going on here in New York. No indication as to whether or not it will be a lengthy out of the lineup or whether he'll be back. CC Sabathia will work here in the 7th inning. And that will be fouled back by Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty 0 for 2 in the game. Joseph Bourbon will be due up in the 7th. Orioles 2-4-0 and the Yankees 1-4-1. Chris Tillman's retired 13 of the last 14 batters that he has faced. And swung on and missed. Sabathia had gone through 14 out of 15. Both these pitchers, after some problems in the opening 2 innings, really settled in and matched one another.
Yeah, his average pitches are right around 100, 102, and go as high as 116 in Minnesota. So again, at the bottom of the order, he's looking to say maybe I'll have an easy inning.
Pop that one up, shallow left field. Gardner says I see it and puts it away. 1 down in the 7th. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support Be More for Healthy Babies. The Orioles have drawn 278 walks, $13,900. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Caleb Joseph has popped out, hit into a fielder's choice. 2 for 10 lifetime off Sabathia. Pitch will miss down low for a ball. Youngsters day game. A chance to share some of the goodies. Yankee hat, Orioles shirt. That's right. That's you.
Yeah, but who's he rooting for?
Not sure. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that's there for a strike.
And the kid, his friend, they don't care as long as he keeps giving him candy.
Cheer for anyone you want, as long as you keep that bag open. Nothing changes in life, does it?
No, it doesn't.
1-1 delivery on the way, and a base hit.
Well, that changed.
That
right
changed.
There. Caleb gets a hit.
Caleb Joseph picks up the single, his first hit in this series. He's now 1 for 9. The Orioles get a chance maybe to add here in the 7th inning.
Well, low ball hitter, and look where this slider ends up. You know, inside thigh high. He's been working on trying to keep the bat head above the ball. He has a tendency to kind of drop it, and then the bat loops. And that's almost impossible to hit that way when you're not hitting a lot. Well, pretty good swing there, and he got a good pitch to hit. That is half the battle.
Yep.
I remember when Ted Williams was managing Washington, he came over and he said, the boys at home plate in Miami in spring training, it all starts with getting a good pitch to hit, and it should be a fastball.
There you go. That's going to go by Bourbon to center, and he's got a base hit. It'll be played by Gardner. And the Orioles back-to-back on back-to-back pitches have 2 singles. Joseph stopping at second base, and there are 2 on and only 1 down.
Yeah, another slider. So can you cover the outside corner? Well, again, it doesn't get there. It's in the middle of the plate. You can see, I mean, he's a slap hitter. Julio's never been anything but that. But again, you got to know yourself, and he's a speedster. So he just puts it in play and finds a big hole. Big outfield here.
Big potential run. Swarzak just getting up in the bullpen for the Yankees as the Orioles threaten here in the 7th inning. 2 on, only 1 away. Top of the order, REIMOLD. He is 0 for 3 in the ball game. He's got a chance to have a very big hit here.
Well, he hit a bullet the last time, but right up the middle where Castro is playing, and he's still shifted way up the middle.
And he will take the pitch for a ball.
He's had a couple of good swings of balls out of the plate, and Again, if CC gets ahead, then he can pitch in off the plate, and he's tough to handle. If he gets behind, it's harder to get in on hitters.
Orioles 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position today, and that was back in the first inning. That's going to be outside, and Sabathia, the tank, may be emptying out here. 2-0 count.
And what you want to do is what the Yankees did in games 2 or 3 of the series, which is to add runs.
And this, of course, is where the Orioles all season long have been able to do just that. The Orioles late in the ball game, leading the majors in late inning runs. 2-0 count. Bourbon, Joseph of the base runners. For Bourbon, that's the first hit he's had at the major league level in 2 years, having played a number of major league 3 years. He played a lot of major league games, but some time ago, and they want to give that bullpen a little time now.
Yeah, Chad Green, he's got a spot start, and he gets called up, having a good year down at AAA Scranton. Yeah, again, the great thing about managing the Yankees is that the media helps you do it so much. They say that Joe Girardi does not bring in Betances and Miller and Chapman when they're behind, and I think maybe you're seeing that a little bit. Normally, this would be 7th inning, beat Betances. So you get to face Sabathia. Again, the pitch count's pretty reasonable at 92.
2-0 count. REIMOLD on the foul ball. Runners will stay right where they are, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Here are the numbers today. Both teams 1 for 4.
Well, the Orioles came into this game at what, 2 for 17 in this series since the All-Star break. 3 for 33 coming in this afternoon's game.
Orioles with 148 runs, 7th inning or later this year. And REIMOLD going after one, fouls it back 2-2.
Well, that's the difference. When your team is scoring runs, you don't miss that pitch. That was a hanging slider out over the plate, had a good swing, but fouled it straight back. Very efficient, with the exception of that first inning when the Orioles got the 2 runs.
Nolan's done a good job, but not a lot of chances. 286 with runners in scoring position. He's only had 29 at bats in these situations this year. Sabathia with a 2-2 delivery. Thought he had him. Doesn't get the call. Full count.
Kind of been a moving strike zone. McCann slides in right to the glove, but it's way inside. This begs the question: if you hit the glove, why didn't you put it on the corner?
Only one away. Runners not going. 3-2, and he's striking out. That time, REIMOLD was ready to go.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, some balls have been strikes, some strikes have been balls. It's been, I think Nolan, again, the target's in, and he reaches all the way across the plate. I think Nolan thinks it's low. Might have been. Certainly over the plate. And take a look. Yeah, probably just a little bit below the note. He's known for his ability to discern a ball to a strike, and of course Mark Carlson doesn't know that. He calls him out.
Now with 2 away, Jonathan Schoop, a base hit, 1 for 3, runs scored back in the first inning. Schoop will launch it down the line. That's going to fall in. Runners are going. Caleb Joseph will score. Bourbon with great speed is coming home. There'll be no relay. It's a double and a big one for Jonathan Schoop. 2 RBIs on it and a 4-1 lead.
Well, that's a big one for the Jonathan, for the club, for Tillman, for Oriole fans everywhere. What did we say last night? Hey, chill out. You'll get the hits. Boy, does he pick up this ball club. Fastball down and away. Great approach. Didn't try to pull it. And again, look at the speed. This is what Bourbon brings to any club, but especially here. The Orioles just do not have a very good or very fast ball club athletic. So again, it's hard to manufacture runs, but to me, that extra run scores because of the speed factor.
CC Sabathia will leave on his birthday trailing as the Orioles get a big double and 2 RBIs with 2 down.
not going to get the win on his birthday. Pitches gives up 2 runs early, 2 runs here in the 7th. A couple of strikeouts, about 17 batters, and Chad Green will come in. He's been in 4 games, 3 starts. They've been up and down from AAA Scranton, so he's given up a lot of home runs, and that's why the ERA is so hot. 15 innings in the 3rd innings and 7 home runs. But again, pitching very well for him.
It's been a career problem for him, and he gave up 18 home runs in the minors prior to this year in just the 62 games that he had appeared in. Here's Manny Machado. The Orioles have a 4-1 lead, out hitting the Yankees 7-4 now. Chad Green with a runner at second base, Jonathan Schoop, and Manny Machado against him in the box. Machado will take it away. Manny returning from the flu with a base hit, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Pretty good secondary lead for Jonathan Schoop, with Castro not holding him particularly tight.
Yeah, 2 outs going on contact. Really not any good throwing arms in the outfield for the Yankees. So you can see they don't get the call, but it's very hard to establish a strike zone. I mean, Carlson's been struggling all day, but if you're sitting in and you throw the ball at 94 in the outside corner or there, he's not going to call it. He's having a tough enough time calling the ones that are to the glove. And so wherever McCann goes, you've got to help the umpire by actually being somewhere in that neighborhood.
2-0 delivery will be outside. This is the 4th time Chad Green has been up with the Yankees this season. 4 appearances, 3 starts previously. He was acquired from the Detroit Tigers back in December of last year.
Yeah, another right-handed pitcher, Luis Sessa, who's pitching pretty well at AAA.
Mile high. McCann. And it bounces. That was probably playable, but a little trip up over there by Torreyes, the 3rd baseman. When he got over there, he turned his foot right on the cement lower part of the dugout. And
yeah, again, I mean,
get to it.
That ball was about a foot over the railing. Not an easy play because of the sky and the fact that you have 2 converging infielders. So right there, I mean, it's padded, but it looks like he slips a little bit and then hits the cement right there, and that's why he doesn't catch that ball. And you can see McCann saying, "It's yours." Well, no, it's not.
So Green will go after a strikeout as he gets one away, and the count will go to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you can see he's got pretty good arm. I mean, at least velocity wise. I'm not sure about the command, but 95 with a little cutter.
Runner off second, 3-2 delivery, and the at bat will stay alive. His last appearance July 8, not that long ago, against Cleveland. Went 4 1/3 innings in that ball game, then was sent back down again. 3-2 count. Castro, the second baseman, almost directly behind the bag at second against Manny Machado. 3-2 delivery on the way to him, and Manny again will fight it off. Keeps the at bat going.
Yeah, Green coming over, and that Justin Wilson, left-handed reliever, who actually had a pretty good year for the Yankees last year. So they get 2 young pitchers in exchange for him. Tigers looking for bullpen help.
8th pitch of the at bat, 3-2 delivery on the way. Make it 9 coming up.
I mean, Wilson pitched in 74 games last year, 5-0 with a 3.10 ERA and more strikeouts per inning. So again, when you think you get Chapman, you sign him, you figure maybe Wilson's expendable, and then you try to flip him for a couple of young pitchers that'll help you down the road.
Which may be the same thing they do with Chapman.
Yep.
3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Big at bat, Manny just fighting off Chad Green's deliveries here. And holds that count full at 3-2.
Yeah, I was looking at the numbers. Sessa's pitched well. Severino, who came up last year and pitched well but struggled, he was 6-1 at AAA. Chad Green, I don't know if he won his last game, but he was 7-6 with a lot of strikeouts per innings pitched. So they have a couple of options at their AAA affiliate.
3-2 delivery on the way. So Manny wearing him out here in this relief appearance. These foul balls, and that will send McCann out to have a word on what they want to throw here. And also to give Green a moment to regroup.
Well, McCann's saying if you're going to throw that 88-mile-per-hour hanging slider, this game is going to be 6-1 in a hurry. But down in AAA, I mean, he's 7-6 with a 1.41 ERA and 90 strikeouts in 89 innings. So a strikeout an inning.
They'll try again with a 3-2 count. Schoop off second base, and Manny Machado. Let's do it one more time.
96, 97.
So Manny getting his batting practice in after missing with the flu. They didn't have any batting practice today for the day game, and the youngsters on parade from the Little League camps. So Manny's going to just have BP right here.
That's a lot of pitches.
That's a lot of pitches.
11.
Let's make it a dozen. 3-2 delivery on the way by Green, and a ground ball to the hole. Great stop. Runner will stop at third. That saves a run for the moment as Schoop has to hold. Didi Gregorius just able to bend and get the glove on it. Manny Machado's second hit.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to be another run. You know, a little cutter in the middle of the plate. Manny's able to top spin it, so it's not going to slow down. Gregorius, terrific range. Otherwise it's 5-1 Orioles. You can see Schoop running on contact, and then the wise decision to put it in your back pocket and not try to make a throw.
So first and third with 2 down. Mark Trumbo's had an 0 for 3 in the ball game, a 2 for 13 in the series. Mark DHing today, just under 300 with runners in scoring position on the year. Mark inside outs that one back upstairs. Orioles on top 4-1. 8 hits in the game for them now, doubling up the Yankees' 4 hits. And the big blow in this one coming by Jonathan Schoop with 2 down. The double, 2 RBIs. Joseph, Borbon both had reached on base hits, both scored. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That'll be up high to him. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
I would imagine the Yankees, whether it's Larry Rothschild or here at the big leagues level as the pitching coach, or even your minor league guy, would be happy to work with somebody they control like this. It's a matter of getting him to command his stuff.
1-1 delivery on the way. That's going to be outside.
You know, it's kind of interesting. One of the new terms, I remember when Kurt Schilling there is very Rothschild, he would always say, you know, you have to execute pitches. Now it's, can you make competitive pitches, or are your pitches non-competitive? In other words, that breaking ball, that was a ball out of their hand, so it had no meaning. You know, you couldn't get to see whether he maybe get him out on his front foot or.
Trumbo trying to line one up. That's a big cut right there. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Mark jumped at that ball. Couple of potential big runs. Orioles up by 3. We're in the 7th.
Yeah, really long inning. Chris Tillman, you know, he likes getting the more runs, but it's a long time sitting on the bench.
2-2. Trumbo again will foul it back as Green's having foul ball-itis here. The Orioles ticky-tacking away, extending his
so he's
performance.
moving around.
And there's Chris trying to keep the blood flowing over there.
Well, a typical day. I saw him today. It's like 7:20. I said, "Boy, you're late." Because normally he's in the lobby on a day game. He's in the lobby around 6:45. Because he's a hunting fishing guy, so he gets up early. He goes, "Yeah, I slept in all the way to 10 after 7."
2-2 delivery on the way, and a hard ground ball to short. Didi Gregorius flips it to Castro for the out. The Orioles had a couple of very big runs. 1-out singles, Joseph Borbon. Jonathan Schoop the opportunity, a double, and 2 in. Who will be going into the Hall of Fame this coming Sunday. Ken Griffey Jr. will be inducted. Those are the numbers. They'll be on the plaque, which has not been revealed yet. It is not until the induction ceremony is actually held. But those are the kind of numbers that got him there. Seattle, Cincinnati, and the Chicago White Sox, 89 to 2010. Mike Piazza's going to go in 16 seasons with that big batting average, 427 home runs. He was the Rookie of the Year in '93, a 12-time All-Star, catcher, first baseman. Played for probably more ball clubs than most people remember. Dodgers and Mets are the two teams he is most associated with. Congratulations to both of them who are in Cooperstown for the weekend.
Yeah, I was down behind the cage, and Mike Harkey, who's the bullpen coach for the Yankees, he said, you know, I was drafted in the first round the same year. And the owner of the Mariners told me I was going to be the #1 guy because he was a Southern California guy. And he said, so I thought I was going to be a Mariner. And then the night before the draft, the general manager, the farm director said, we've gone in another direction. And they took Ken Griffey Jr. Wise decision.
And off to the Hall.
Yeah, Harkey went to the Cubs, the 4th pick in 1987, won 36 games in the big leagues.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Teixeira with an 0 for 2. So the Orioles up 4-1. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Fans settle back in after the stretch. Gregorius and then A-Rod will be due up. Tillman has gone the distance in the ball game. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Long inning in the dugout. Teixeira will take that one for a strike. Tillman has worked 7 1/3 innings this year. That's his high. Did that against Kansas City. That was back on June the 8th. Ball game where he gave up no runs, 8 hits over 7 1/3. And the pitch will be taken. Last thing he wants here, of course, walks.
Well, you have a very well-rested bullpen, and you know, obviously, you've lost 4 in a row, 3 here in New York, and pitch count at 91. Pretty close game until the Orioles added 2, and still, again, you just kind of pay attention. You got a lot of options in your bullpen. And you know what the Yankees are looking for. It's just base runners. They'll take them any way they can.
3-1 delivery on the way by Tillman. Good off-speed pitch. Had Teixeira looking fastball, didn't get it, and a 3-2 count.
Well, ever since Bowie, which is Double-A, it's been Matt Wieters and Chris Tillman. He very rarely ever shakes them off. How about that? A 3-1 changeup. And not only does he throw it, he throws it perfectly on the outside corner.
Full count delivery on the way, and Teixeira will foul that one back. Teixeira holds the count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. On the long at bat, 7th pitch will be coming in this one. Teixeira's hit .202 right-handed, a .181 from the left side of the plate this year. All 8 home runs have been hit left-handed. 3-2 delivery on the way, and struck him out.
94, right on the knees. Yeah, it's been tough to get some of the pitches called, but then again, right to the corner, great target, and right to the glove. That encourages an umpire to call a strike.
See, that's why I don't go by that box. Pitch was outside.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah.
Well, we have high home. We can always tell the truth. Yeah, the angle from center field is, you know, it can be a little bit misleading. It's funny though, Teixeira kind of accepted it. Maybe that's just saying, okay,
close enough.
Yeah.
Tillman's got 7 strikeouts and a breaking ball. We had him leaning on that one, Gregorius.
So this is what you're talking about. And again, the whole ball doesn't have to be on the plate, but your point might be that part of it has to be.
Yes.
I mean, you know, the plate's 17 inches. You can get the edge, so you could actually make the plate 21 inches wide, somewhere in there. The ball's a little bit over 2 inches wide.
1-0 delivery, breaking ball in the dirt. Count goes to 2-0. Didi Gregorius 0 for 2 in the ball game. Only 4 hits off Tillman. RBI, base hit. Castro was in the 2nd inning. Then 1 extra base hit. That was Gregorius's double in the 2nd when he scored. And he's taking, and the pitch will be on the inside corner, 2-1. He wanted a 3-0 count. Bourbon moving around in center field, getting help from the dugout as they rotate around based on the count. He moved way over towards left.
Well, that's Wayne Kirby, Orioles first base coach and outfield director.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Kirby's also had a bout of the flu over the past week. 2-2. Bourbon getting the start for Adam Jones. We'll check in with Buck Showalter after the ball game on where Adam is with the back spasms. 2-2 delivery by Tillman. Ground ball towards first. Davis. Tillman over. 3rd time he's gone over there to cover. All successful, and there are 2 down. Follow Orioles baseball live with the MLB.com at bat app. Stay up to the moment any moment. Game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Two down, nobody on. Adam Jones over there in the dugout, came out a couple of innings ago. Looks to be in pretty good shape, but playing wise, we don't know. Rodriguez 0 for 2. He is grounded out. Brad Brock in the bullpen. Grounded out, flied out. A-Rod 1 hit in this 4-game set. He's gone 1 for 8. That was a home run. Came in 7 for 19 against Tillman with 5 home runs. Tillman's had him today so far, and there's an off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Well, they're all working now, and even Gregorius 2-0 changeup. The home run that A-Rod hit off of Gausman, 2-0 fastball in the 1st inning.
Tillman's 0-1 delivery. A-Rod reaching. Hardy at short. Another solid inning. Tillman retires the side in order. Continuing to mow down the Yankees in this one, and the Orioles lead at 4-1. And tomorrow as the Orioles welcome the Central Division leading Cleveland Indians to Camden Yards. Trevor Bauer on the mound against the Orioles. Dylan Bundy. Our coverage on MASN 2, 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Southwest, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Well, so there you go. They lead, as we mentioned, the AL Central by 7.5 games, and Tyler Naquin last 4 games, so they've used a lot of players, and there are the starters, the best ERA, and not only that, Gary, they have the best run differential. 95 runs more than they've given up.
And a pretty complete ball club. Chris Tillman, solid 7 innings, 1 run on 4 hits. Chance to win his 14th and tie Chris Sale for the lead in wins in the American League. Here is Chris Davis. Orioles batting in the top of the 8th inning. Chris has reached on an error, grounded out, and drawn a walk. Goes after the delivery by Green, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Chad Green on in relief of Sabathia, who gave up 4 runs, 7 hits over 6 2/3 innings. Sabathia walked 1 and struck out 2. He is the pitcher of record for the moment on the losing side. 2-1 to Davis. Davis on the big cut. Orioles, with the 4 runs they have picked up in this game, they've equaled the total number of runs that they had scored in their 4-game losing streak. The Yankees have given up only 3 runs in their 4-game win streak. The Orioles have one up that. Pitch will be up high. So Davis works the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hardy and Flaherty are due up for the Orioles here in the 8th inning. Full shift on against Chris Davis. 3-2 is in the air the other way. Gardner on the rainmaker. And Davis retired. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Minnesota plays at Boston tonight. The other day game where the Dodgers lead the Nationals 6-3. J.J. Hardy, a couple of hits, and he is grounded out. Big 2 RBI single in the first inning with the bases loaded. That put the Orioles up, and they have not trailed. Yankees got to within 1 with a run in the second inning, stayed that way until the Orioles 2-run 7th. That's in there. 1-1.
Yeah, maybe Larry Rothschild told Chad Green, throw it at the knees. Everything up in the last inning, but he's got a nice arm.
1-1 delivery on the way. Orioles have Brad Brock ready to go in the bullpen.
We got the 2 lowest ERAs of any pitchers in the American League, Brock and Britton, ready to come in here and pitch.
Down to third base. That's a fair ball. Torres has got a long throw. 1 hops and gets it there in time to get Hardy. 2 down. Well, in our worth repeating page in our notebook, Rick Porcello, interesting, said, I'm in favor of stiffer penalties. Obviously what's going on right now is not preventing guys from doing it, meaning taking the performance enhancing drugs. This year there's a guy that literally tested positive 3 times. That's obviously not effective. I'm all in favor of much more severe punishment or a lifetime ban. Porcello vying for a little Cy Young consideration on the mound and a little consideration of opponents off it. Ryan Flaherty.
I'm going to have to check out the total context of that remark.
He was very adamant.
Yeah. Those are pretty strong words. Which there are a lot of people that believe you. You do want to have a level playing field. I still don't. All you have to do is go back to, some of the things that have happened. Go back 3 years ago. Nobody tested positive then, and yet they were. That's how A-Rod got suspended. They just happened to. So I think they could still do better testing, which I'm sure they're looking at. But there have been some guys pardon me?
Constantly trying to upgrade it because the new drugs keep being introduced that are less discoverable, apparently. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Flaherty. Ryan will pop that one up. Torres is playing the other way. Long run and no play.
And it's really unfair. If you're an older player and you're doing what nobody ever has done in the history of the games. Now they test, but are the tests really conclusive? I guess they're conclusive enough to allow you to play. So and whether you're a young player, are you doing it because you have a bad year and then your home run spike? So you have testing. It just seems to me that it answers all those questions. There have been guys in the history of the game that will go, back going 8-10 years ago, go from 20 home runs to 50 home runs or whatever, and if you're having good testing, you go, okay, because the guy worked hard, he got better, he got smarter, and those kind of things. So I just can't imagine with a pitching in the steroid era when you look up there and you see Popeye at home plate, and guys
lots of Popeyes.
Yeah, exactly.
And the home run total show you how much the steroids affected the game. That's in there for a strike. Green gets his first K, retires the side in order. Yankees coming up, bottom of the 8th. Will have 8, 9, and 1 due up against Brad Brock.
Gives up the 1 run, looking for win number 14. Turns a nice double play. Davis, he covers. Gets out of the first inning. It's already 2-0. And right here, another double play. Taylor made. Hardy over to Davis at first. Correa's bouncing a double play. And then, boy, he had all pitches working. 94, 95 on occasion. Curveballs, sliders, changeups. And the Yankees held to only 1 run after winning 4 in a row. Great changeup right there to Starlin Castro. So just about everything working. So there is the mix. You can see more breaking balls. Why not? Even more changeups. But again, when he did throw the fastball, he was able to throw it in the mid-90s. One of the Orioles all-stars, along with Zach Britton, out of the bullpen. With that 20 Ks, no earned runs last 13 games. Again, just devastating. I mean, fastball, 3 quality pitches. You know, the fastball 93 to 95. He's got a really good slider, and then a power changeup that looks like a splitter. Second lowest ERA in the American League at 0.88, and righties having a very difficult time.
So Brock comes on to work here in the 8th inning, and the pitch will be a strike on the outside corner. Castro, followed by Headley, is in the on deck circle. He's back to the ball club, obviously. Castro has had a base hit, 1 for 2, and will foul that one back into the screen. Yeah, Brad Brock's appeared in only 1 game against the Yankees this year. Worked an inning, gave up 1 hit.
Yeah, his fastball is so much better and so much better command. It just makes all the other pitches even better. Because when you get ahead, and you can see Castro's had a nice series, so he's 0-2 now. He can throw a pitch that doesn't have to be a strike. You reverse the count, got to throw it over. Try to get him to chase here.
Castro off the end of the bat, he broke it. A hopper. Hardy got him by just that much.
And it's pretty routine when the ball's in the dirt. I'll tell you what, Castro, he can run, and I'd heard stories maybe didn't hustle that much. That's not the case here in New York. Boy, he gets down there. Now the ball's away, so he gets a good jump out of the box, and then again, ball in the dirt, nicely picked, and there's pretty good play coverage here. A nasty slider down and away, and he airs it out and just barely out. So if you hesitate at all or don't get a good grip, he's got himself a base hit.
So Chase Headley back with the ball club. Did not play last night, and to go home for personal reasons, and apparently returning here during the ball game today, because I don't believe he was here at the start of the game.
Yeah, 2-run home run. I mean, off of Michael Gibbons.
Headley will shatter the bat down the line. It is curving and will be caught by the ball boy. Headley back with a 1-ball 1-strike count. He Is Headley big bat to have out of the lineup? He's had an extended period, some 60 games, hitting almost 290 over that span.
About as slow a start as you could possibly have, and then he turned 32 in mid-May, and I don't know, got back to where he normally is.
Headley 1 for 6 in the series. Ground ball into the shift. Jonathan Scope way out there will make the play to Davis. So Brad Brock comes on, gets a couple of quick outs.
Yeah, you have to imagine you come over from Europe, you really don't know baseball, and they go, why do the infielders get to play in the outfield?
As long as you're between the lines.
Well, exactly. You get some roamers now. You know, the Jonathan Scopes of the world with strong arms, or shortstops moving, you know, into right field.
Top of the order, and Brett Gardner 0 for 2 and a walk. 0 for 3 lifetime against Brock. Gardner will take the pitch for a ball. Yankee bats are the quiet bats today. RBI in the second inning. Single by Castro, and that's been it. Chris Tillman, just a great performance. 1-0 delivery. Had him fooled on the fastball. 1-1.
Yeah, I don't think you can really say a guy's unlucky when he only gives up 1 run, but even the run they got was a pool cue double, a little roller by Gregorius, and A-Rod was able to move him over, and then they ended up scoring the only run. But
that ball is going to be foul.
Yeah, the Orioles come in over their last 10 games, playing game number 11, and they're 6-4. If they win the day, of those 7 wins, Tillman would have won 4 of them. You know, because of the off days and the all-star breaks and the fact that they gave him an extra day. I mean, what an amazing run.
Well, to be 17-3 as a team,
yeah,
and about to go 18-3, that's pretty amazing. That is foul back gently. He hit on the top of that.
You know, that's a good changeup that just goes down. Yeah, you bring a guy in that has 3 above average pitches, way up, well above, and if as a hitter he'll throw him at any count. It's tough. You know, the Yankees do the same things. You got Miller out there with a hard slider, with Tansey's throwing 100 with a great curveball, and Chapman throwing 105 or 6.
1-2 delivery on the way up the middle, off the side of the mound. That'll be a base hit for Gardner. Keeps his hit streak alive now at 6, and the Yankees with 2 down get a runner on the bottom of the 8th inning, and that will get Jacoby Ellsbury to the plate. Ellsbury, like Gardner, also after his first hit off Brock, he is 0 for 2. Yankees with 5 hits in the ball game. That's the first one since the Torreyes single in the 5th inning. Chris Tillman retired 17 of the last 18 batters that he faced, if you count that double play in the 2nd inning. Foul back when he wanted right there, couldn't drive it.
Yeah, well, you always want to stay within 3, and of course if Ellsbury can somehow get on, then your best hitter, hottest hitter over the course of the year, is waiting on deck. And so Jonesy with the back spasms, and then Joey Rickard on the attempted catch of the Gardner double, and then Wieters with the ankle.
You see Adam Jones giving signs to the catcher. 0-1 count, 2 down. Would indicate Adams not hurting too bad.
Well, you know, got on the bus this morning, and I figured, you know what, I'm not saying he ran up the stairs, but there we go.
0-1. Wants to be a shortstop. Wants to give signs to the catcher. And the pitch will be taken up high. So Jacoby Ellsbury evens it up. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Yankees not out of this yet. Brad Brock going to end this inning right here. Keep it at 3. 1-1 delivery on the turnover pitch, which is going to be outside 2-1.
You got to be careful, you know, if you're Caleb, you know, has a tendency, and I don't think he even knows it sometimes, that the glove is off the plate. And so again, you know, if you're going to give a target, give it on the corner, because otherwise you can hit the glove, and it's been a kind of in and out.
And a swing and a miss. Great pitch by Brock. Had him leaning out over the plate. Ellsbury 2-2.
Yeah, I almost thought it was. I think Caleb might think this is the third strike because it's like he's heading for the dugout.
Probably that's what Adam signaled him.
Yeah.
Wrong count.
There it comes up, and I don't know if he's looking at the base runner or not, but he'll make a little move like maybe it's just in case Gardner, who faded running. I wouldn't be worried about too much about him.
Caleb was laughing watching. He caught Adam Jones. He's looking at John Russell and bullpen action for the Yankees, but Adam Jones imitating not only the signs but what John Russell does afterwards with that little clap of the hands. That's what John does. 2-2 delivery on the way to center field. Bourbon will chase that one down. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on base. And despite Adam Jones giving the signs to the catcher, they're out of the inning. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Yankee Stadium, Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer. The Orioles looking to end that 4-game losing streak in pretty good shape. You see what happens when you put on both a Yankee hat and an Orioles shirt and you have a bag of candy. Not only do the guys come over to share, but
yes,
and
Manny's shirt on, of course.
Chase Headley stays in the ball game at third base. Torreyes out. In there for a strike. Green's worked an inning and a third, has given up just one hit. Caleb Joseph, a base hit, run scored. He kicked off the 7th inning when the Orioles got 2 runs on 4 hits with a 1-out single. And Caleb goes the other way, and he's going to get another base hit. Chopped down on it, and Castro had swung around, so the Orioles the leadoff man on 9th inning. Visit MASNsports.com/CareFirst to vote for tonight's Care First Fearless Player of the Game. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Zach Britton, it is a save situation for the moment. Bourbon the start in center for Adam Jones. He too had a base hit scored in the 7th. He is 1 for 3. He gets Headley moved in at third base. Green's delivery. He squares, drops it right there. Boy, did he deaden that one.
Well, you're seeing why, Buck Showalter, he talks about players. He obviously every day he gets all the reports, and he's always talked about Julio Bourbon because he does the little things, and you've seen it today. Ability to score from first on a double. How about a sacrifice? About as good as it gets. The technique is, look where the bat head is. It's out in front of the plate. It's just you lay the bat head on the ball. And it's not a jerky motion. So the little things. If you add another run, they'll all be applauding you.
So Bourbon gets the runner down. Caleb Joseph. Now REIMOLD will try and get him home. REIMOLD an 0 for 4 in this one, and 0 for 9 in this 4-game set. Nolan now 255 on the year. Jonathan Schoop waiting on deck. The Orioles out hitting the Yankees 9-5. Green will look back in the 0-1, and that's going to be a bouncer. Snared by McCann, leaving the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Strasburg takes the loss for the National today. He does not reach that 14 win mark.
First loss of the year.
First loss in 22 games. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And that one will be fouled away. First loss in 22 starts. He was 16-0 in the last 21. Strasburg coming into today's game. 1-2. So Tillman, the chance to join Sale, just the two of them as 14 game winners atop the American League W board. Here's the 1-2 delivery. REIMOLD started to step in. Ball was in, and a 2 ball 2 strike count. A starter. Joe Girardi was talking about it before the game. Why Green? I got to have a long guy in the bullpen. All right, now we need it, so here he is. 2-2 delivery, and that's outside. Overthrown on that one. 3-2. Orioles with the 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position today. That's 1 more hit than they had in all 3 of the first games of this series. Joseph off second. 3-2 delivery. Ground ball behind him. Gregorius will make the play over to first. Runner moves up. 2 down.
Yeah,
so we'll see if Jonathan Schoop can do it again.
Yeah, he really picked up everybody with that double down the right field line. After REIMOLD just struck out off of Sabathia, who made a terrific pitch, and he thought it was low, but they called it. It changed this whole game. 2-1 went to 4-1.
Those RBIs came with 2 outs on that double in the 7th inning. 2 for 4 in the ball game. 2 RBIs and a run scored.
What I like is where he hit it. He hit it down the right field line. And Jonathan, much better hitter when he uses the whole field.
Going up high after some heat. Schoop has had a real good number with 2 down. Runners in scoring position with 2 aways. The Orioles have been okay in that department this season, but could use a little more of the 2-out RBIs. That'll be up high. Not going to get him to do that twice in a row. Schoop has hit .261 in these situations this year. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 2 away. Green taking a look at Joseph at third. 1-1 to Schoop's away. 2-1.
Well, I think we talk about the Orioles. Yeah, they don't, they got 13 stolen bases, so not a lot of team speed. But the one thing, other than maybe the obvious of leading the league in home runs, Gary, is the on base percentage. They're 5th this year, so that's way up from last year.
That's what they went after in spring training. Was one of the points Showalter made. That one was there. Schoop couldn't get it, and a 2 ball 2 strike count to him. Jonathan flirting with that 300 mark. 297.
And you can see Buck Showalter say 95. But if Jonathan swings too hard, that's where he just swing not as smooth as Scott Coolbaugh, his hitting instructor, would like.
2-2 delivery off the fist, and that's over the screen.
A little shorter swing there. That ball up and in at 95, 96. Able to foul it off.
Big day game crowd of 42,476. 42,476. Not nearly that many still in the ballpark. Schoop trying to get Joseph in from third base. 2-2. And that's up high. Green has thrown a lot of pitches. 50th coming up. Orioles fouling off a lot of his pitches, particularly in that 7th inning. 3-2 delivery. Back to the mound. Green will run it halfway over. The underhand toss to Teixeira. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. So it is a save situation. 4-1 Orioles.
Now Zach Britton, I don't know if you get a whole lot better. 29 out of 29, most in the American League. All-star for the 2nd straight year. One of the best sinkers in baseball, and he knows that, and he throws it. So again, ground ball pitcher. Does have occasional slider. We saw that he threw 4 of them in a row. Almost fell off the couch down in Tampa. But again, really has done an outstanding job. You can see more strikeouts than innings pitched. Makes you put the ball in play. And he will come in with a 3-run lead.
Doesn't much matter, righties, lefties, or stand in the middle of the plate against Zach Britton. Brock got the job done working an inning. He gave up just 1 hit. Carlos Beltran will lead it off against him. Beltran 2 for 6 with a home run off Britton in his career. And the first pitch is going to be taken for a strike.
Yeah, it was a walk-off the first year that Zach became a closer. He only had like 3 or 4 bad games the whole year, and Beltran with a 3-run home run. Great high ball hitter. In fact, you know, wears out left-handed pitching.
Britton's got a 1-0 record and 2 for 2 in saves against the Yankees this year. 3 2/3 innings. He's given up no runs and just 1 hit against the Yankees in 4 previous appearances. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. McCann and then Teixeira will be due up. Britton's delivery will be inside. The Orioles 3 outs away from ending their 4-game losing streak, ending the Yankees' 4-game win streak, and avoiding the 4-game sweep in this series, but got to get 3 more outs.
Yeah, they're tough outs. Beltran 330 against left-handed pitcher.
Takes that one to left field, stays up. In fact, was rising a little as REIMOLD came in. Beltran retired.
Well, sometimes you pitch to the scoreboard, and you know you get behind 2-1. It's not where Zach wants to pitch. Didn't want to be behind. Wants to be at the knees. So he knows. You know, sometimes you get real lucky. And Beltran, terrific at bat, but right at REIMOLD. Made a nice play and left.
McCann coming up. 0 for 2 in the game. 0 for 9 in the series. He's had a 3 for 9 lifetime off Zach. 1 down, 9th. And hits it will miss for a ball.
They came in to get a little tune-up. 1 pitch, ground ball to second last night. And they actually a 5-0 loss to the Yankees.
The 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's a strike. With the 29 consecutive saves to start the season, that is tied for 10th all time. Going after number 30 right here. 1-1 strike pitch to him. Breaking ball had him leaning away, and it catches the corner.
Yeah, he throws so few of them, it doesn't even have to be a good one. It's kind of just I don't know if he intended to throw it, get me over, but that's where it was, and just kind of froze Brian McCann.
1-2 pitch on the way to him off the fist souvenir. So the Orioles looking for a win to take them back home. In Cleveland tomorrow, first of 3 over the weekend. 6:30 O's extra, 7 o'clock Masson 2. Dylan Bundy, Trevor Bauer. Orioles hope start of that game they'll be back in first place. That'll depend on the outcome of the Minnesota-Boston game at Fenway tonight. Orioles a half game behind Boston right now. One-two delivery, and got him on a one-arm swing.
Well, there's the good slider, and you know, Zach was talking. He said he ran into John Smoltz down at the MLB Network yesterday, and they were talking about starting and relieving because both of them did it. Smoltz in the Hall of Fame. And, talking about feel of breaking balls. So that's about as good as Smoltz's slider was to righties. It was a terrific pitch.
One more out needed. Teixeira swing and a miss on it. 2 down here in the 9th inning. Teixeira 2 for 7 off Zach.
It was almost like I'm going to just swing the bat thigh high and hope the ball hits it. The ball just dropped right out of the zone.
Yankees only run 2nd inning. Castro single. Orioles scored theirs in 2 innings. First Hardy bases loaded single for 2. 7th inning. 2 out. 2 RBI double by Jonathan Scope. One delivery to Teixeira. Chopper. He's going to have to gun it. He does, and that's the ball game. He defends his position. Teixeira retired. So are the Yankees. Britton comes on and retires him in order and gets his 30th save of the season. 30 straight to start since '69. Valverde at the top. Mesa, Dennis Eckersley, Willie Hernandez, and now